short recap.
All right, good evening. Hello, everybody watching at home and all the troops across the ocean, I suppose. Welcome to this week's episode of Rough Rolling, which, I don't know, last week went relatively well, rolls overall, so maybe we'll have to revisit that. I don't know. Today's a new day, so we'll see how things go today. Let's get a recap as to what happened last week.
Yes, the general theme of last week is that all of our bad luck was taken by the Call of Cthulhu games. And we rolled relatively well. Mostly.
Your fucking luck staying alive so you can kill one of your teammates.
Yeah. So all of us survived. So we do have to have an in-party fighting session where we unnecessarily kill one another.
Naturally.
And funnily enough, it was Barry and I again, which already seems to be the theme. Anyway, so the quick recap from last time.
I rolled a hit back.
Okay.
Do I win?
Let's see. So last time was a lot of combat. It started off just as Sally Scrabblebones was coming down the stairs carrying, not quite paralyzed, but say definitely not tip-top shape, Madam Carrington. The goal, at the very beginning at least, was to just keep her talking and give enough of an opportunity for for Carrington to reach up and grab the Heartstone off of her Scrabblebones' belt to sort of disable her powers. After which we rather quickly disabled her. And when I say we, I mostly mean so many names. Why do I always forget it? Cyrus. Yeah, Cyrus just kind of walked up and turned her into a vaguely melted paste. And from there, we continued up the stairs to try to confront Caligari himself. Well, there was another fight with the water elemental that Daxius also started, as was the theme. But,
2 for 2, baby.
I think Daxius started more than 2 fights.
I think he started all of them.
I meant this evening, not in general.
But after heading up the stairs, we came face to face with Caligari himself, at least temporarily, before he, opened a large hole underneath us and dropped us back down the stairs. Some of us...
Which was not very poggers.
No, some of us had a bit of an easier time than others, I believe. Vic still had his ring of feather falling, and Sven had his ring of hold on to Vic. Everyone else just kind of slammed against the ground. But after Fernix was able to dispel that and the rest of us were able to climb up, we pursued Caligari up to the final floor, where a very, very long fight ensued, with a lot of complicated mechanics and mild misunderstandings of how certain mechanics work on everybody's front. To the point where I had to reschedule.
Perfect.
Yeah. But we got through it. Eventually with the bulk of the party fighting off some of the shadow babaus in the previous room, while Vic mainly killed himself against Caligari's electric shields. But eventually did manage to take down the man himself with help from Fernix and Cyrus. From there, the skull paste was scraped off of the floor to allow us to set up the ritual to send the Dreamstone into another dimension. What dimension, or is it a dimension? Is it just a big hole in the ground? We have no idea. But it seems to have worked, because there was a large, explosion of dream energy, or a shock wave.
Well, that happened during the fight.
Ah, yes it did. Which is something we'll have to investigate.
Yeah.
I believe Caligari said something about some crazy bastard, which... not entirely sure who we would mean by that, but we'll figure it out. Maybe.
It was the booming voice outside, too.
Yes.
What
Anyway,
did the booming
mysteries
voice
to
say?
investigate.
Do you
I don't
Is it
remember?
something about a guy being crazy?
Oh, that
Right.
was,
Right. Vic was
Oh.
the only one that heard that voice.
Yeah,
I
that
was crazy
uh,
once.
It was, yeah, it was something that only Vic heard because it was something Caligaro said in the heat of battle. So, yeah, what he heard was, "The mad bastard, I can't believe he's done it."
We'll have to see if we can't figure out where that came. But after dropping the Dreamstone in the alternate dimension for causing problems elsewhere, we managed to concentrate our efforts into leaving the Dream Realm, with some of us being more successful than others. I believe Sven was there for an extra minute or so after the rest of us already left.
Scary.
But
Not
eventually,
bad,
the party had finally left the Dream Realm after achieving their goals and are ready to pick up the next mess and see where it takes us.
So, I did give you some information saying that it definitely felt like the pallor that had settled itself over Bridgefront is now receding, if not entirely gone, now that the Dream Realm, created and maintained by Caligaro and all the deaths and nightmares around him, has left the neighborhood feeling eerily quiet and calm, in a way that really isn't accustomed to the area, simply because this is a very poor neighborhood and disaster and chaos are sort of the order of the day. But with a lot of the inhabitants no longer here, at least for the present moment, that sort of makes sense. You find yourself variably scattered across the road in front of Caligaro's house when you're able to meet back up. Yeah. I'm just gonna open the floor to you.
Hey, I don't know if anyone else is concerned about it, but there's still that explosion. I have a feeling we're not done tonight. At least I'm not.
Yes, I do agree. That seemed quite important. Hopefully, it was just in a dream realm, but I don't know. A small bit in the back of my brain. You remember the bomb, yes? That Oliver was very.
Right.
Right.
I don't know.
Is
I
the
just
one
have a bad
unaccounted
feeling.
for.
I just have a bad feeling.
You mean the Mills bomb that was taken during the arena fight back in Innsbruck?
Right. If they wanted to destroy it, that would have been a good time and cause some collateral damage as well.
Didn't the
But-
dragon have some other way of shooting, though, other than that bomb?
I'm just trying to understand what you're referring to exactly, because there was, according to all of us, some explosive devices attached to the metal dragon. He was flying as well, but I believe that was already taken by someone here.
Oliver told us that this thing had a had a thing on it that could level an entire city. He said.
Oh, yes, but it was more of a shockwave than an explosion, at least sort of.
Might I recommend we walk and talk?
Right. In the direction
Uh,
that happened,
I actually
is there
taught
any
him
smoke
what-
or anything?
Give me a
Like-
perception check, because it is like 1 going on 2 in the morning. I don't think most of you have dark vision, and even if you did,
Oh,
um,
and it doesn't help very much. Or
I
at
don't
all,
have,
really.
distance-wise, yeah.
I don't have dark vision, but I'll at least use my rope of climbing and climb to the top of a building just to get a good view.
I guess I would hope that maybe the sky would be a little bit clearer and it might happen to, be like an offset color in the sky or something like that.
I'm not gonna roll for them. So I'm gonna give this to you, Phoenix. It was a pretty pretty sizable penalty based on everything, but you're able to see in the direction that you had witnessed in the dream realm, over the rooftops and far away, a pillar of smoke wafting up into the air.
Now that's definitely a vertical pillar. Yes. Yeah, we should go.
All right.
That's not good.
Normally, I'd run off ahead, being speedy as I am, but I have a feeling it's so far across town it won't matter.
No. Yeah, this is
Do
a
wish
run
I had-
that... Yeah, it's going to take you like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Even
Prepared
at
a
full
spell
tilt.
for such an occasion.
I cast teleport.
Well, the fun's never over, I suppose. I guess we head off that direction.
All right. I'm assuming the Natari keeps up.
Yeah.
Okay. Cyrus is able to as well. I just wanted to make sure Natari just didn't say, fuck this, fuck you, I'm going home.
Oh no, she wants to. She's just kind of fuming.
Yeah.
And what
So-
else is new?
By the time you cross the river and pass through Imperial Square going in that direction, it becomes much more visible. Even those of you who don't have that vision are able to see the smoke against the background of the night sky. And as you get closer, you see that it like trails off a bit, growing smaller, and before eventually just kind of one last plume as you get near to the end of the road. And seeing that it is coming, well, from inside of Luttendorff Palace. There
not
is a
screaming?
sizable police reaction, well, guard reaction, but a lot of the guards here aren't dressed like lunar guards. They're dressed in a much finer set of armor, and there are other people milling about, looky-loos, neighbors, so on and so forth, people talking. You're able to overhear chatter of, like, they don't know what's going on, or, you know, they thought they saw something out the window when the corner of the house blew out. Rumor crap.
I kind of like looked into my left, almost like, oh, and pull out the extend metamagic rod and cast the one spell I happen to have in my back pocket. Here's my backup.
I cast reverse time.
Basically. I had this extra slot and I didn't know what to do with it.
Okay.
So just this is Luttendorff Palace, not Castle Luttendorff, right?
Yeah, this is Luttendorff Palace.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just, for whatever reason, I thought
You were able to see, even from where you're standing, like outside of the gate, where there is a sizable crowd of like onlookers, mostly being kept out by the soldiers standing near the gates. That the right side, so house right, stage left of the house, the whole like top floor corner has been just blown completely out. There is a wide spray of debris that has spread itself over the yard and the walkway and a bit into the carriage house and stable. You see a lot of people milling about, and I'm assuming you guys push to the front. I don't know why I'm assuming that, but it seems to be in your wheelhouse.
We start killing people to get to the front, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm good.
I'd try to be nice about it, but you know,
No, it's kind of our trademark.
not
Yeah, we gotta
I'm not-
keep
I'm not-
people in line.
I'm not quite turning on the rain cloud just yet and just walking over the crowd.
You're able to get up to where the soldiers have basically created a cordon out of their own figures. If you want to, you may give me a knowledge local.
Absolutely.
It's a DC 10.
Hold on.
I could probably make it on a DC 10.
I'll aid someone if I make 10.
Alright. Thankfully, the DC wasn't super high. Really, it was like a 15 at worst. Their black armor shine to perfection, and the halberds or longswords that they hold give them away as being onyx guards. They belong to the palace, to the prince.
Oh.
Okay.
Just to walk up to one of them closer. Whoever seems to be, you know, relatively in charge, but not necessarily like directing things.
Mhm.
What happened here?
The one guard who definitely has the look on his face of I'm tired and I want to be anywhere else but here. But there is a give me a god damn it. Fucking I just played in Ryan's campaign, so I almost said bullshit from that system. Give me a sense motive.
Empathy.
I'll try one.
Insight. And that it's insight.
Yep.
Not a good roll. So,
You are both able to get this. The guy's not necessarily hiding it, but it's more of the perceiving certain body language, facial cues, and other subtle movements that give away somebody's inner turmoil. There is a look of major concern of like the fact that they're out here. They're palace guards. It very much looks to him like they've been sent out in the same way that, say, Green Berets would. That you're not sent in because, you know, you're the first line of defense. You're sent in because some real shit went down, and you're the ones that need to handle it.
Yeah, and the guy can't handle the job.
Well, I guess if that's what you want to perceive it as, it's your prerogative.
more like
I mean, you expect a certain level of like competency from someone this high up the ranks. This guy's shitting his pants just being called out to secure perimeter. This
I
guy
think it's
probably
more
just-
of a like, what is the why is there like someone is so concerned that they're sending out the big guns? So
Yeah,
why
no
are they there?
shit.
Yeah,
No
basically.
shit.
Yes.
Fucking Luttendorff Palace just got bombed. Just like
Yep.
Imperial honor guard over here.
Yeah, it's less the fact that they don't know how to handle this. It's the fact that they have to handle this. The man regards you, and especially as Cyrus comes to the front, because his pin is larger and more visible, he kind of gives a bit of a look and says, "There's sort of an incident here tonight, and that's about what we know and what we're going to release to the public right now. Nobody's in danger. No danger to the public. Nothing really to worry about. Just making sure nobody was hurt by collateral damage or shrapnel coming off of the exploding corner of the house."
What the fuck happened?
Give me a perception check, those of you near the front.
yeah, I will say I'm not paying attention to the conversation with this guy outside of just getting a read on him.
Mhm.
Just taking a look
Ooh.
around, getting a closer, like trying to
19.
make sense of the situation around me.
Okay. So it is pretty well lit up around here. Obviously, like where torches and gas lamps don't reach, it's still very dark. But most of the palace's grounds are pretty well lit. Not too far inside of the gates. I think basically maybe every one of you except for Sven are able to see familiar figures like speaking to one another. One being Terse, the master of Bannerhelm, speaking with a human man dressed in relatively decent clothes, smoking at a cigarillo or perhaps a cigar, who's just kind of nodding and looking. Standing beside him, however, you see both the halfling and the tiefling that you saw that night on stage, all talking in a group to one another, like animatedly. Onasara, the tiefling, is the one that has his back towards you, towards the gate. You can see that there are other Lunar Guard inside. It's specifically those who have any amount of aptitude of actual like investigation. Vic, you and Fernix are the only ones that are able to see that the captain is in there speaking with a, I don't want to say distraught, but definitely concerned Luttendorff, Christoph Jr. The old man is nowhere in sight, but there does not appear to be a feeling of like mourning or anything like that. Simply, I don't know. How would you feel if you had a part of your house just blown up in the middle of the night?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to make a roll with knowledge
Okay,
and ability. I want to know if they're probably the king.
Prince.
Fuck, I'm forgetting his name. Prince, sorry. The old guy. I'm forgetting his name. His first name.
Oh. Well, now I do
In
too.
my notes. There's
I
too
will
many
say,
to
how
right
I
now.
feel-
Either way,
Prince
Alfred.
Alfred Olwick.
okay. I just want to know, like, standard protocol probably would be taken off the scene, right?
Most likely, considering that Christoph Sr. is the prince's chancellor.
Okay, I wouldn't have to roll anything for that. All right.
No, that's something I feel like. I mean, it's like a DC 10. You can take a 10 on that and get the information just that way.
That's true. Fair enough.
Oh man. So it is definitely a scene going on. I think you understand the political gravity of the situation, and well, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, if Turs is there, may. Actually,
I'm
I'll.
guessing are we still like right within? Are we still right next to the guards?
To the gates, yes.
Yeah. I guess backing off for a second would probably be suspicious, so I'll just be like, actually, we're here with the Valier Society. The chapter master asked for us.
Give me a bluff.
My
Give this your
untrained
best.
bluff, you say?
You got it.
Yeah! I got double digits. That's better than I thought.
Well, considering the fact that there are a lot of you and you all are all at least in pins, there definitely is a twinge of really, and then like you see like the woman standing next to him in the Onyx guard get up, kind of just says, oh, they're wearing the pins. If they're gonna fuck something up, we're here. Let them go. And the guy's like, whatever. Steps back, lets all of you walk in. I'm holding up the halberd to like push other people back who kind of surge forth like as you're entering, in the same way that like looky-loos or the paparazzi would when somebody important or an ambulance or the mortician is allowed into a crime scene.
It's like, thanks.
They all
Had us
sound
on
like-
back, but internally just like, oh, what just happened?
I think you had to lie, and I think it was not the worst.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh,
You should
Natura will
probably
be outside,
noticed.
by the way.
We'll still taste about this regardless. As we walk up and then try to avoid interrupting the conversation. Still make our presence known.
You the conversation that you hear is from the human. Like, as you get close enough, you're able to hear, made sure it wasn't one of ours. That's all I can say at this point. If it wasn't somebody on your payroll or anyone you know, I'm not thinking it's anybody that we would employ or protect. You hear Delisar basically say, I don't exactly think it's some fucking little criminal wearing your little fucking badge. more along the lines of, and he just gestures towards the corner. That's some shit we saw. And there's that realization that they're not alone, as, like, eyes kind of turn towards you, and there definitely is a moment, like, in every one of their eyes, including Terse, that looks to you like, who the fuck are you? Before, like, losing focus.
Well,
Kind of nod.
I think your friend's right. No criminal, especially one on a bridge front, would think to do something as stupid as this.
The man with the cigarette kind of lowers it from his lips and says, "See?" Terse just kind of gives a grunt and says, "Then I don't goddamn know what it is. All I know is we got dragged out of bed. This is the first time something like this has happened inside the walls, and we have both the prince and senior over here jumping down our throats over it. At this point, I want to know what happened and be done with it. Also, welcome back. I'm assuming that the
Thanks.
problem over on the other side of town is a little buried.
Mhm.
6 feet under.
Indeed.
Fantastic. We can celebrate that tomorrow."
Right.
Well, we wouldn't normally interrupt things like this, but worth mentioning that, well, we had a intimate experience with the blast ourselves,
Right.
despite our circumstances. So whatever occurred, it wasn't just physical.
We were aware of it before we were conscious again, so the fact that it happened, well, I suppose we'll have to figure out why.
The tiefling kind of looks between all of you and to Terse and says, "And somehow I'm even more concerned." And during all of this, the halfling is writing. Just writing in his fucking book, like, not really paying attention. Well, not paying attention, more like not engaged in the conversation. But while he is writing very, like, vigorously, there is a look of seriousness on his face. That, you know, this is not a fucking laughing matter. The human man kind of looks towards Terse and says, "Are these, some of yours, then?" The Yodi folk kind of gives a nod and just kind of waves it off like, "I don't want to talk about that right now."
Has anyone identified the source of the blast?
Came from within the house, at least as far as we know.
Really.
Christoph says there was an intruder in the room that used to be there, and he turns and points like his arm back towards the missing corner of the house. It used to be his private alchemical lab.
Oh,
If,
that sounds to be pretty shutting close. I mean, I think we can all assume what happened. Intruder, maybe in a panic or didn't understand what he was messing with, mixed the wrong things, and kaboom. Yes?
I don't
It
know.
could be. It
So-
could be as simple as a source of flame, but
Someone probably smart know what they were. It's someone wouldn't just attack a palace like this on a whim. If they wanted to make a big explosion, that's where you'd make it.
I mean, I think that the thief would on a whim, perhaps,
So-
just for money.
You-
Yes?
You see
Mind
the
if I take a
man
closer
with the
look?
cigarillo, like, kind of point towards you and say, "Not in my fucking city, they don't. Not without my say-so. And no one on my list did this. Nor would I have ever signed off any of it. I'm not that stupid."
Look,
So,
there's a sort of structure to the gangs and the criminal underworld in this city, a sort of way things work. Someone like this is either incredibly bold, stupid, or both.
Or just an outsider. There's plenty of stories of dumb adventurers just doing this kind of stuff.
That's
I
also
don't think that's
possible.
what happened here.
would it be okay if we took a closer look? If there's some alchemical residue, it might give a hint as to the cause of the explosion.
Luttendorff Jr. is here, right?
No, he's over towards the building. He's speaking with the captain, the one that you had met. Excuse me. Wow.
Stauffer.
Stauffer. Yeah, Caroline Stauffer.
And it was Junior who saw the explosion, correct? Or saw the intruder, rather.
As far as we know, yeah. He's not in hysterics, at least. Man's made of stronger stuff than that.
I'm gonna look at the guy with the cigarillo. Do we recognize him?
Give me a knowledge local.
Yeah.
May I also attempt that?
Everyone is able to make that if they feel like it.
Damn.
Or why not?
Not that bad, though.
Daxius, you're the only one that recognized him. That's Arthur Scrivener. He runs the Azure League.
Oh!
Oh, no shit.
Hey, yo?
I'm just gonna raise my eyes upon seeing Arthur's, like, holy shit.
I'm gonna take Cyrus to the side for a second.
Sure.
I think we need to consider the possibility that if Caligara knew what might have happened, which I think he did, I'm concerned that one of the Luttendorffs may have been trying to replicate his experiments. If we were able to see the results in the dream realm.
Perhaps at this point I do not know one way or the other, but I'm hoping you are incorrect because this family is very much untouchable. I don't want to have to consider trying to shackle one, because you won't.
It wasn't,
Without an army.
I was more speaking of our, I don't know what the plan would be, but this is concerning. If our problem was aware of this situation. In any case, just walk back to the group.
You will
Yes, sir.
notice that both Caroline and Christoph Jr. Seem to look up and split off from one another, with Caroline walking over, like crossing, just ignoring all the plants, all like the nice finery around, just walking straight through the fucking shrubbery and shit and coming over towards the group. There's definitely a look of, like, I want to say exhaustion on her face. It's rather plain. She stops like well within maybe like 10 yards of all of you and kind of like, hoists her hand on her sword and says, "Why am I not surprised to find you here?"
Because we're at the scene of every crime.
I forgot to take off my triple magnet.
In other
Also
cities,
because we saw it.
and even here, perhaps another time that might have been concerning. But, Mr.
We work
Luttendorff
hard.
wishes to have a word with you. Just
Good.
you, and you.
Makes sense. Well, good that we're here then.
Either before or after that, I'd like to loop back to Fernix's earlier question. Do you know if you'd be able to see the room where it happened?
You're asking this of, like, Terse and them?
Yeah.
Well, considering most of it's scattered around the lawn, figuring you can, maybe try and put it back together later.
I'd still like to get a look at it at some point.
I think we better have a conversation with the man of the hour then.
Alright.
You're all like, kind of able to hear, as you're like walking just out of like earshot, you hear Arthur say, reminds me of us when we were stupid.
I look like I took that one.
First does laugh. Actually, so does Alabaster. Delisar does not look happy about any of this. So she leads you this time around, like the actual walkway, to like not lead a fucking group through the shrubbery. But you are led over to Luttendorff, who is dressed in day clothes, but they definitely look like, I mean, his whole appearance definitely has that feeling of thrown together, like, for immediacy rather than any amount of, like, yeah. He's, like, directing or overlooking, like, some, like, mostly guards, but there are a couple of Onyx guards who are kind of keeping a perimeter. It seems that, like, most of the guards either are being told to preserve the crime scene or aren't dumb enough to go in and sully it. But as you go over, Caroline just kind of gives a clearing of the throat, presents you, and then walks away over to her officers. Kristoff, his hair an absolute mess, unshaven, kind of turns towards you and... Well, you found us at a rather nice time.
Yes, it seems that all of our nights have been quite busy.
Better tidings to you. This is the prince, right?
No, this is Luttendorff Jr. He's the one that invited you to dinner that night. His father is the chancellor to the prince, who is a duke.
It is a shame that we are back so soon that we might see two of the same meals together.
Well, weren't exactly planning on having a nice portion of our mansion blown up. Not that we can't fix it magically, but it's more along the lines of principle and the fact that a lot of the stuff that was lost in that explosion is going to be very difficult to replace.
Unfortunate. And you happen to have observed the culprit.
Culprits.
I see.
Multiple. And at this point, I have pulled out like a piece of paper. I've already started like writing things down onto.
He kind of looks to the ground and looks back up and says, a couple of days ago, I was woken up in the middle of the night because I had thought I had heard somebody going through one of my private libraries. I managed to get into the room, but if there was anybody in there, they had long gone. That was 2 nights ago. Tonight, I was woken by a similar sound, except this time I was a little more prepared, and that they had chosen a room directly across from my own chambers. I went into the room and found several hooded and armored individuals, seeming to be looking for something specific. And, well, they pulled weapons, they threw magic, I threw magic back, and it went from there until they made their retreat and fireballed the far corner, blowing up the corner of the house, throwing me back into my chambers, thankfully into my actual bed, and allowing them to abscond.
Have your wounds been tended since then?
Yes, thankfully my own father is a rather talented sorcerer. He was, of course, rushed from the property as soon as the Onyx Guard arrived, as he is considered to be functionally next in line for the princedom and Well, he was indeed the prince's closest advisor, and they don't want to see that lost.
Well, I suppose that solves the cause of the explosion.
So that would put you third in line, or second in line.
Third, perhaps. That's politics. He kind of like looks over towards the destroyed corner of the building and says, I don't know what they were looking for this time, but I did not too long ago this evening figure out what was taken from my library. I have a personal library that I don't share, containing a lot of rare or otherwise dangerous tomes. They're stored in a way that it makes it difficult to notice when anything's taken, as each book is stored inside its own wooden jacket to protect it from the elements. I should have noticed this one at least because I left it out on a lectern after your departure, by the name of the Treatise on the Aired Blood by Theridian Orixina.
So just that one?
I know that might not sound like much, but it is a rather dangerous tome containing elven knowledge from possibly the mid to early Second Era. Primarily dealing with summoning, soul, and ion magic.
Ion magic.
It does pique
Ion
the interest.
means earth blood in ancient Elven. Io, un. Aired blood.
Hmm. This is very interesting. Did
Is
you
that-
have Ion here?
There is some, mostly stones that we keep for work or magic purposes, but I don't think that that's what they were hunting for here in the house tonight.
Were there any identifying features, symbols, anything?
Getup was mostly black, and they spoke Elven.
What was the, was there anything specifically in the book that, you think they might have been after?
Yes. Because once I figured that out, I spent a few hours in my library going through some of my own tomes before I finally remembered where I had put it inside of a hidden safe. A personal journal belonging to Valen Starakius, the court wizard to the last emperor. The man who did a lot of the research near the end of the Empire's long and mostly broken reign. And it confirmed mostly what the elven woman Theridian stated in her treatise, is that she believes the earth blood, the Ioun, is not just stone, but it is pure energy. Living energy. He also... Starakius was rather closely connected to a lot of old arcane research back in Drakengard, and by the end of his life, before he was killed in the siege, he had mostly started losing screws in his head. Started saying that it was a living thing, that the wells of magic were made of it.
Interesting.
It sort of broke down after that, until eventually by the end of his journal, not only was what he was speaking of completely indecipherable, so was his handwriting. So, I don't know.
It does sort of tie in line with one of the old Vietian religions, or at least the one that we encountered anyway. That tapestry is
Yes.
coming to have quite a different context now.
Yes, I forgot that your order has the belief that magic is a living thing that must be respected.
I think so did some members of the order.
Some, but that is an old belief. Even most of your order in these days doesn't really follow it much anymore.
Well, I suppose it's only natural for those presented with a dearth of information to fail to proper context on some of the important things. Still, it's not like it's not hammered into some of us, at least.
As you were talking, a whistle goes up, probably grasping most of your attentions, at least it does Kristoff. He turns to address where Stalfer is kind of like giving a gesture, and he begins walking over as she calls out, "I think we've got something."
You might want to come over here.
I look over at him.
Shall we?
Yeah, we go over.
Alright.
Follow him over and we'll see.
No, he
First.
goes, like, you know, it's his house, and he was the one that fought this battle, even if he didn't win. You have to pick your way through the, the blast zone, the shrapnel wood and metal that hangs around here on the walkway, the driveway, and the lawn. You're led around the corner by Stalfer, who takes you over to a portion just outside of the carriage house, where you're able to see somebody definitely picked themselves up and smeared blood across the exterior wall, and begins walking towards the actual city wall at the rear of the house. You see a spilled bag and what appear to be the ripped remains of a uniform.
That's not very good.
It was one of the assailants caught in the blast.
Stalfer leans down so that she's the one that actually has to sully anything and moves a lot of debris away, and there isn't too much inside as she picks up the bag. There is, however, a decent amount of crossbow ammunition. There are a decent amount of things like smoke bombs and poison, a lot of poison, as well as throwing knives. Pushed in between them is the burned remains of what appears to be a scroll or a letter, which she like places that aside as she's like dumping up like the assailants' weapons and goodies.
I'm gonna do the detect magic, especially when she points at the scroll. I'm like, just a moment. Knowing full well that I'm like, I just a little while ago was like, oh, I'll just take a look at my inventory, and it's like, what's like the second thing in there? The scroll with exploding runes written on it. Mm-hmm. Just make sure. See if the message is magical.
You cast it, and it doesn't show up as being magical. However, as you're kneeling down, like casting the spell, you are able to see that it was sealed, like it was sealed with a wax seal.
And is it still sealed then?
No, the seal appears to be broken. Give me, what does this fall into? Knowledge Arcana, I'm gonna say. This is a...
Okay. I will let her know. I don't think there's anything magically trapped on here.
You are able to recognize the pieces of the seal. In fact, you've seen them before, not too long ago, when you killed most of their occupants and former owners.
Oh.
The Brotherhood of the Spider.
Little farther back.
Oh.
Yeah, circus.
Mhm.
Not that far.
No, wait. Was it the
Okay.
the hobgoblin? Wasn't there like
Nope,
Remember
Hobgoblins
seeing-
was before the circus.
The drow.
Which
Yeah.
which group that
Drow.
we killed all of? Oh yeah.
I thought I remember seeing something in with the hobgoblins. It was a while ago.
There was some symbology with the circus and the hobgoblins and all that stuff, but that's
Okay. I forgot about the drow.
Mhm. Well, you at least recognize the seal is belonging to the clan, the house that you robbed and killed on the road outside of Innsbruck.
They deserved it.
Arguably so.
Butterfly effect.
And yeah. I'll probably keep that to myself.
However, you also do sense something magical in the rubble nearer to the house.
I'll, leave that for the moment, and I'll just gesture over at the message, and I'll just be like, "Well, doesn't seem to have anything dangerous on it. No magic or anything. Still, if that's, I point over at the vials, or I guess however the poison is contained. If that's a poison, I would be careful about touching it with your bare hands, just in case."
At this point, I've just wandered away, from the group to I'm still listening to everything, but
Yeah.
I've gone over to investigate the blood smear on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'll head over towards the rubble and leave this to them.
This was about half an hour ago. Yes.
If you're asking Kristoff, he just gives a nod. and says,
Out loud.
About maybe closer to 45 minutes by now.
Do we have a medical expert? Anyone who can tell me how much blood someone can live without before dying? Is this just as a glance? Is this a normal amount of blood to lose? Is this a lot of blood? Is this?
It doesn't seem like a lot of blood. It's definitely a smear. You can tell somebody smeared it against the wall, but you don't see a pool of blood on the ground
Okay.
below it.
Still ask for a medical expert.
I suppose I could send for one of my father's retainers. Sure.
How long will that take?
Depends on if he's awake.
Don't have that time.
I'm going to follow the path a little further down. Seemed like the smear was leading somewhere, so I'm just going to keep going that direction and see if I can't spot any tracks or something.
That was my intention as well.
Give me a survival.
Okay.
Can I help him with this?
Yes.
I would appreciate that.
You might actually want me to be the main roller.
I
have a
didn't know
plus
if we were
15.
just all rolling.
Okay. I mean, we could roll separately. That'd be a plus 14.
I'd rather attempt to assist, yeah.
I
No.
assume that this would apply the track bonus for following tracks.
Yeah. You are able to find bits of blood that has dripped down. It's pretty dark in color, but it's not like it's drying or anything like that. It goes out nearer to the wall, and as it gets to the wall itself, you find the ditched remains of a healer's kit, as well as an empty bottle.
I sniff it for alcohol.
Not alcoholic.
Really? Interesting.
Fun.
So,
Yes.
You with your
Magical perhaps.
nose.
I'm not an alcoholic, I swear.
Oh, I am. Dang, you better tell
Looking
me
up
if there's some
the
alcohol in
spilled beer on the bar when we go in. Oh, I'll have a.
there. You
Just
don't
pour the
mean
bar
that.
mat directly into a cup.
Really ring it out.
But I'm not sure how much you and I will be useful here. We could be more useful trying to find this person. They probably could be anywhere, given it was half an hour ago, but with your nose, I have confidence we'd actually have a chance of finding them.
Perhaps this is a smart use of our time. Yes. Lead the way. And Sven puts on his collar.
With your... Well, wait a minute. I was actually... okay, no. Take that off. I know you've freed Lugo recently, but, like, come on. Like...
I'm sorry, I have to
Recently.
use this. If Lugo's not going to use it, someone has to.
Yeah, it says Lugo on the neck.
Yeah.
Is that the name you want me to call you? When you got the collar on?
Well, actually, Lugo, I was hoping with your nose you'd take the lead on this one. I'll just keep my eyes at the sky, get up high, follow you where you go.
I'm flattered, but I am not Lugo. At a game, you said Lugo.
Yes, because you
Guys,
go with the bit
Oh,
color.
okay. I see. I get it. Okay. Yeah, no. I'll try and track them down with my nose. Because the nose knows.
And I know it might be a little harder with the type of buildings here, but ooh, that's
You
fun,
have
that's
a
fun.
trail that goes directly back to the place where the blood was, that comes right to where you are, and then goes up.
Oh, this fucker tried to do a fast one on this.
Hold on, I don't tell you this. Kidding, I do tell you this.
Well, shit. What are you looking at? No, with that, I'll just use the. How high up is the wall? Probably really high, right? More than
Quite.
60 feet, which is where my
Yes.
rope of climbing goes to. Okay. Well, you still got a spider climb?
I do. Yeah, I do. I can cast Spider Climb. Is it just gonna be on you and me? Probably. We each get 25 minutes of Spider Climb.
It has to be 10-minute chunks.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, it does.
Nuh-uh.
It-
Might as well
it-
give it to more people then.
I give it to a random child on the street, and I'm like, have fun.
Also, if it's caster level per 10 minutes, it'd be 45 minutes per chunk, not 25.
Oh yeah, no, I'm level 9 now, huh?
Not until we
give it
sleep.
to
I know.
Sasha.
I don't know why I thought I was level 5 for a second. Okay, yeah, so 40 minutes to me, 40 minutes to Daxis, and then 10 minutes to some random kid who's gonna have the time of his life for 10 minutes. I'm not responsible for when he falls 20 stories when the spell runs out.
Climb on top of a
Valid.
flagpole and just fall off.
So yeah, with
And
that
that's why
then
we just hear a thunk of a skull against a girder.
a Gurger?
Gutter.
Mhm.
Got
So-
it. Oh, I can't hear, man. I'm
No, I said
really deaf.
girder. I meant gutter, though.
Shit happens.
You begin climbing up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll put some pep in my step. I mean, I can move 35 feet around, actually.
Well,
Actually, I still have 5 slots. I'll use a fucking Expeditious Retreat, because why the fuck not? I'm not using my slots for anything else.
that only increases your land speed.
Doesn't affect your climb speed.
Well, it's Spider Climb. I thought, like...
Nope, you're not
Oh,
walking
I
up
guess.
it.
I'll do it
Well,
anyways,
still
because fuck
climbing.
it. I already rolled it.
Yep. You roll it and are very disappointed that you cannot suddenly climb a lot faster.
I think Longstrider gets all of them.
Ah, okay.
But it's also only like 10 feet bonus.
Yeah, it's like an hour per level, though.
Yeah.
It takes you about half a minute to get to the top, move around the battlements and through the crenels. And as you swing yourself up over the side, you can definitely tell that this area there really isn't a huge need to patrol like the top of a wall for a city like this. You're way too far from any of the gates, and the Empire isn't actively at war, nor is the Prince at war with any of his neighbors or lessers. So, as you get to the top, you see directly across from you 3 grappling hooks with ropes to go over the side opposite.
Ah.
I sniff them.
Well, one smells like what you experienced on the ground.
Yes. The smells of the thing that is on the ground, the person that we smelled earlier. I suppose this was probably expected, but
These ropes smell like rope.
these ropes smell an awful lot like rope.
Hmm.
We should be careful.
You do get 2 other distinct smells. That said, they do seem a bit similar in a way. Perhaps that might give you a bit of demographics.
I'll be honest, a lot of this feels out of context.
Got nothing else to work on, though.
Yeah, because Fernix hasn't told you shit.
Got distracted, and then everyone walked away, and he just like,
Goodbye,
well, I
Frederick.
didn't want to say
Goodbye,
that to her.
No, I was listening.
Oh, Vic is
So-
still down there.
Yeah, and I assume during this like minute and a half, 2 minutes, there's been stuff going on.
Vic, do you go with Fernix, or do you stay near the where the bag was dropped?
I mean, I'm just like following the rest of the group, except for Sven and Dax, obviously.
So, going with
Trying to watch.
Fernix. Fernix, you're able to follow the ping on your magic radar over to a nice sizable pile of rubble that you and probably Vic right after requires you to shift it before you're able to get what is underneath. As you finally shift the last piece of like broken floors, or perhaps it was the backside of a wardrobe or something like that, you see in the ground, almost like half buried in the dirt, is a pretty perfectly made, almost egg-shaped purple crystal that has a massive crack from head to foot. It's about yay big, like an ostrich egg.
Yeah, I'll indicate that and be like, I think you remember the drow?
Yes.
I think this might have been what they were after.
You know what it is.
Can you give it? If I'm identifying it as a magic item.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hold on now. It's weird. Let me. Yeah, I'm like my camera just went out, and I'm like, huh. It has power. It's been gaining power actually, so I was worried it might go out on me, but oh. Hold on. Fix it? Please fix it.
Technical difficulties.
Wouldn't be a week without it.
In the meantime, I'm assuming it's a spellcraft check, so I will roll to
Yeah.
try to assist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me, I guess restart my camera then. Sorry, I don't have a thing to throw on in the way. So it's gonna mess things up for a second.
Yeah, how it goes.
Bleh.
No, we're over here.
If you send it to split cam, and then have that be your default camera. Even if the physical camera stuff goes out, it'll still display like the background. Like I can just like turn myself off.
Yep. Yeah, and it huh. I have no idea why it broke.
Actually, why don't we go ahead and take a bit of a break now?
Good time.
We'll be back. Like 5 minutes at most. So
I was muted that whole
once
time.
we get back, yeah, you were muted that whole time.
No, I want to be the DM. I'm the DM
know.
now. Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah. See you in
I
like
rolled a
5.
resist.
Yes.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
But I was like, 5 minutes would be possibly good now.
I love technology,
Like-
don't you? It's great.
Oh, just great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was like, I wish I could blame that on the cats, but no. Just
Regular
I'm gonna
technology.
assume
Yeah.
it's
As soon
probably
as
the
you,
droid cam.
As soon as you try to say something is wrong and finally acknowledge it, that's exactly when it starts working again.
Oh yeah.
Like you show somebody else, like, hey, I'm running into this issue. Can you see what we can do to fix it? And you do try to replicate it, and it's just immediately working.
Magic fingers.
Yep.
You'd love to see it.
All right. So go ahead and give me that spellcraft check.
With a +2.
Hey.
I hope.
So what are you trying to learn out of this?
What does it do? What kind of item does it be?
Well, it appears to be some kind of like crystal. As to what it does, you don't fucking know, because it sure shit isn't doing it anymore.
Hmm. Yeah, this is a little bit beyond me.
Although I would say that it reminds you of something else you've come across along your way. However, this one seems to be significantly better made.
Oh. This looks actually kind of like those the void crystal.
Bingo.
Yeah. That's probably why I have no idea as to how it's used. But as to what it's doing here,
I may need to have a conversation with Luttendorff.
exactly. I doubt even he's aware of everything about it that we've experienced.
Well, it's a good thing that Toes is here, Cyrus.
And they're gone. Well, I guess I suppose they'll be back. And we
Yes,
can-
they went up the wall following the trail.
Mm.
The other two. Let's walk it back to them. To the rest of the group.
We should probably tell the others what we found. Best not going off wandering around the woods.
Head back over to where Stauffer and Junior is.
They're talking. They seem to be mostly focused on the things that are in the bag. Stauffer has gloved her hands and she's moving things around, taking notes. Luttendorff's just kind of watching. He just kind of seems not really present at the moment.
We found something buried in the rubble.
Both of them turn towards you with sort of a and after he checks with her, she stands up and they kind of wander over. And what is it now then?
Well, I'm hoping that Mr. Luttendorff might be able to tell us.
this violet crystal with a crack down in the middle. And I point over in the direction of it, where I left it. knowing better than to pick it up.
Hmm. Like, I think you see, like, a look of initial recognition and then sort of, like, on his face. And he says, well, I thought for a second perhaps they'd gotten into my personal repository of jewelry, but doesn't look to be one of mine. What color is that
So-
even?
So this isn't yours.
Kind of a
No.
violet.
Well, unfortunately, we do somewhat recognize it.
Okay, and I guess we're not just gonna leave it on the ground. He steps forward to pick it up.
Wait. Contact with it. We don't know exactly what that does. In fact, even with the amount of study that I've done, there's still not a lot of information regarding the exact properties of these things. But caution should be the watchword.
Out of character question, Turs was very much involved in the conversations with the
Yes.
society.
When the
Okay.
representative from the Veiled Archive was here, he was the person who witnessed everything as Master of Bannerhome when they did the conversations with you.
Okay. I'm going to go get Master Tamek. I think he would be very interested to see this. And as Frank said, let's not touch it.
Would you actually be able to tell me approximately where in the room this was?
He said it wasn't his.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's
I'm-
on the ground out here.
I imagine it was dropped by the assailants.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, did they catch one of their own in the explosion?
I think I was able to at least wing one or two. But, everything happened very quickly and things got out of hand and then suddenly things were blowing up. Don't really remember them drawing anything out that looked like this. I think they more preferred daggers and crossbows. And they weren't throwing spells.
I'm gonna go. Vic's just gonna go get Turs while they're
Yeah.
talking.
I assume at some point.
I'm assuming that the
Sven-
two of you are going to climb down eventually.
Yeah. While he's doing that, I'll be filling him in on some of the events that we've had surrounding these void crystals, the various different shapes that they've taken, colorations, etc.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well-
maybe we don't talk too much about that because we did get told not to talk about it.
Oh, I don't tell
As-
him then.
Before you leave, though, Vic, I'm just gonna
Just,
call it really quickly. Wait, there's
Yeah, I'm
something
assuming
else
they
you
were
might want to
climbing
hear,
down during.
and I'll just inform everyone about what we found. That they're on the other side of the wall somewhere, but I don't know if we need all of us to go looking out for them. But I was thinking at least me and Sven could find them.
Perhaps.
Maybe
Maybe
I could
some of the
stalk them
Griffin
for a little
Riders would be
while.
more inclined for that sort of job.
True. That as well.
In any case, there's something over there. I'm going to go fetch Turs.
All right.
Alright. You're able to wander over, and the two of you are able to go to Fernix, and he tells you whatever it is he feels like he has the need to tell you.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, so there's that seal on that scroll over there that was from that drow family, and then there's that crystal that the guy's saying that one of them dropped that looks like probably one of those void crystals.
Oh joy. So
Mhm.
a refined one?
Yes.
Shit.
This is conversation not including anybody but ourselves and
But
Turs.
us.
But
Mhm.
I see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Turs as well is fine. I don't think he knows about the drow yet, but
When you go to get him and like tell him like you found something, that is basically the answer that Scrivener gives you is, oh joy. And then he like kind of turns to the human, just tells him, "Go fuck yourself," and then starts walking with you.
Mhm.
What's the fucking problem now?
Well, seems that this might be related to our conversation that also just so happened to have included the Veiled Archive from a few weeks back.
Oh, God's alive. I was maybe gonna get through at least a few days without hearing more about this, whatever the hell it is. Yes, I
It's
know what
another-
it is. You know what I mean.
Yes. Well, it's another crystal that does not appear to have belonged to the Luttendorffs.
He just kind of, as you walk over. I figure, by this time Fernix has finished filling Ben in, Ben and Daxius in, and you were able to tell Terse what you know.
So you're saying he turned into a pickle? That's pretty funny.
Yeah, funniest shit that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Brings a tear to my eye how much I was just laughing. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yes, Vic, Turs, there you are.
So yes, the two of them return, and Terse takes in the scene and otherwise stays pretty stoic. The captain kind of stands up after finished taking her notes and says, "I think I've about covered everything. If you find anything else, tell either myself or one of my guards, and we'll come and categorize everything and try to make sure everything is preserved for what it's worth, I suppose."
If you want to wear, it may be good to go set up along the wall. Sven and Daxius head up. They apparently used grappling hooks to climb over behind the palace itself. And I would presume they retreated that direction as well.
She looks to Luttendorff and says, "We should probably tell Berengar and have her tell your dad."
Actually, I was hoping maybe I'd be someone. Well, I have a bit of a knack for being hidden. I was hoping maybe I could spot them first and get a location before we move forward. Feel free to tell people if you want to, but I want to at least catch them with their pants down.
I'm thinking even with a search team, once they make the woods, they might as well be on the other side of Balur.
Nothing escapes this guy's nose.
Is he magic or
Big
blessed by the
wide smile.
gods?
We'll find out which one.
Technically, it's a protean, you know.
Technically, it's a protean, and it comes at the cost of me having an intense bloodthirst. But you count your blessings.
No,
As long as there's no
talking about that
orphanages on the
part.
path, we should be okay.
As long as there's not any innocent civilians.
I will go out of the way to the captain to denote. I'll be like, that crystal over there, it's radiant magic. I don't know what it does. If you put it in a lead box, that's probably a safe bet.
I won't
Yeah.
even do that. She turns, kind of gives you the yeah, and then turns to the Duke's son and says, "We should probably take a report to your father before it gets too late. I'm sure he would appreciate not staying at the." And it's just conversation as they walk away. Terse kind of watches over his shoulder as they go before looking back to you. Only one eye facing you. The other one is still peering back the way those two are going.
Okay. What time
What's
is
the
it?
actual truth here?
So, are the rest of the party around?
Nobody's gonna open the scroll to read it?
I would like to, but it's kind of tampering with evidence, and right in front of the captain of the guard.
Yeah.
Well, everything's been recorded.
Would be
Have they read this scroll?
good to know what's on that scroll first to properly explain things, but seems to have something to do with the drow.
I say we open it. I mean, it's already been opened.
Mhm.
Do you want me to try and read it? If it's not, I guess we can see what language it is.
Probably in Elvish, which I think multiple people can read.
It is
Yourself
indeed
included.
in
I mean, you
Elvish.
Sven, you can also read any language, so I don't think that really matters.
Wait, do drow get their own language?
No, they speak Elven, just a dialect of it.
Oh.
Okay. I sent it to you in the records channel.
Who wants to read it?
I guess
Okay,
I
I'll
will.
read it.
Like,
Oh,
Oh, well,
rock, paper,
we
scissors.
read it together. We do the thing over voice call where we try and read at the same pace, and it always comes out really bad.
Oh yeah, what a great
read-
idea.
All right,
read one word at a time in sequence.
Oh, that works too. All right, let's do that. All right, you start, Daxius.
Don't do that.
It'd be kind of
Don't
funny
actually
though.
do that.
All right, all right.
It's a
If you
long
want to do it,
Goofs.
if you want to do it,
Yeah,
Sven,
it's
I'll
not-
let you do it.
It's not very long.
All right, Colonel Melray.
Colonel.
Nope. We can't know. It's impossible to know. It's just COL dot. It could be Colonel, it could be Colonel. Who knows?
I don't
We
think that has
cannot-
anything to do with how it's written.
We cannot wait. Success must be forced. Dot dot dot. In the house somewhere. It's the key. Dot 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 dot. Stabilize the machine. Dot 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 dot. Find the energy nessus. Dot 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 dot. Impurities. Dot 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 dot. Tor, Christoph, Luttendorff. Dot 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 dot. Or dead, comma. I don't care. Dot 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 dot. Handle it. And at the bottom it says Lael Tiscar, matron of the house Tiscar, diamond of the Underdark.
You're not reading anything ever again.
Yes.
So the it is rather like, is the letter itself like burned up a
Yes.
little bit?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty heavily damaged.
So all the times where Barry said dot, it was implying that there was a large portion of the text that was unreadable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that they just put 3 dots in a row.
No, I was saying a lot more than 3. Just to,
There are
make it
more
so
than
obvious.
3.
You know,
It-
5 to 6 dots in a row.
It makes me
My-
think of
my mistake. That's my
Seth
fault.
Meyers reading Donald Trump's tweet. Dot 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 dot.
If we do, what is it, mending, it doesn't bring back the ink, right? It just reconstitutes the paper.
And that's
Yeah.
assuming you have the rest of the paper.
Yeah.
It seems that most of it has burned away, not that it's been like cut off.
Machine? They... Huh. Now, here's my concern. Did they leave this big important gem just lying around to be found, or was it dropped?
Well, considering the fact it's buried under a bunch of rubble,
Yeah, but it wasn't...
I will say that it seems like they are talking about a machine that they were looking for the key
Yeah.
of, and perhaps this was the key to this said machine, but what the machine is, I don't.
It's the same word that Oliver used at some point or another when they tried describing the dragon. Either way, it bothers me that this gem, it wasn't one of Luttendorff's, or if it was, they're lying about the fact that it was theirs. But I don't see why they would. So, and why why, if this was of importance, why? Because I remember you guys speaking about these smaller pieces before, and they seemed rather. I've kept my eye on them more or less, and seeing a big, massive one here is alarming. And I feel like, why would they bring it here? That's my question. It talks about energy. Were they trying to gather energy somehow?
Well, let's think about things. If Luttendorff is to be believed, the only thing they made off with was the handful of books, or just the one book, but was effectively related to soul and akin magic. If our understanding is correct, these crystals are a form of solidified soul energy, or something of the sort, into this crystalline form. And from our experiences with the iron stones, those are, I wouldn't say more alive, but at the very least similar in theme, being a crystallized life force.
Yes, the Tyrians were definitely made of sterner stuff than we.
I don't know what they're looking for exactly, or why they brought this crystal, or where this crystal came from. But
The Underdark?
I would not be surprised to find that they are in league with the other cult that we've been interacting with.
Oh yes. Did anybody search through the scraps of uniform?
Oh, that's
was
right.
wondering
There were
about that as
scraps
well.
of uniform,
Hmm.
and also like the smoke bombs and the poison and such.
But again, I'm not a guard. This just happened like half an hour ago. The captain of the guard's right there. I'm like, hold on. I'm gonna go look over this real quick. It's like, why are you doing that? Did you find something suspicious in there? Oh, did you put that in there?
Fair, but I think this captain's a little more chill. He's
He
the
probably trusts us, but still, this is where I was like, oh, I figured she probably would want her own people on that.
I assume at this
Ooh,
point that we
baby.
have their blessing to loot. See, I mean, they haven't made a fuss so far.
Yeah.
That was also my concern, but at this point, you know.
So, as you
I'll
at
go
least-
look over it.
As you
I look over him looking over it.
as you go through the scraps of uniform barreled. Well, no, I guess it's technically Dax's. So, as you go through that, you turn over, and it definitely appears to be like portions of a jacket. You see like pockets that have holes in them, like the upper portion of a like the torso, as well as a sleeve, on which is stitched a rather familiar symbol. That I believe you have witnessed. When the fuck was that last time you witnessed that? Might have
I
been
don't
when
know if you-
she was killed.
If we're talking about the same thing, the bisected circle, moon and sun symbology, it was never shown to us, it was just described.
Okay.
Oh, I tried looking into that a bunch of times.
And we didn't find anything beyond. It was
You find
vaguely
it.
similar to some catfolk religion with determining a general idea of like good change in the world.
Well, now you have an example of it.
Well, shit. I think we know exactly who's been fucking with us this whole time then.
Who do you think? Sven says, looking over stuff.
I'll just hand it up to you.
I sniff it.
Not the smell. Just stretch out the sleeve. Notice anything?
I sniff it. I'm sorry, I missed the exact description. What was it?
Look here near the end of the sleeve. There's a symbol of a setting sun.
Oh, the Japanese.
Rising sun.
Might be the
Oh
other
shit,
direction.
you're right.
Why it's called Land of the Rising Sun.
Jesus Christ.
Also, they stopped using that flag because it's associated with explicit war crimes and basically nothing else at this point.
Yeah.
So most people don't like seeing that.
I wonder why.
Japan doesn't know.
That symbol is familiar. Why am I drawing a blank on where we've seen that before?
You've
I
seen it.
literally just explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was described to
30
you
seconds
by what's her face before she died. Well, technically after she died, but
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I actually think that was
yeah.
before she died. It was when we were interrogating her on the road back to
interrogating her on the
Louisville
way out. Yeah.
or Innsbruck.
Just fucking lower the sleeve and just mutter like, "Yeah, this is why I hate cryptic shit too. They couldn't have just throw the shirt down. Fucking told us that it was drow." Had to make it
And
complicated.
can someone take a sketch of that just so we don't lose it?
All right.
Sven's
Yeah.
eyes kind of go off into the distance as he considers that the next arc will be in the Underdark. And then he remembers he has dark vision, so he'll be fine.
Make sure you let us know every time we encounter something dark.
Oh, the cats.
So
Well,
what you're saying is that Luttendorff was targeted.
I don't know why, but yes. I don't. Whatever the case, they chose this spot as the. I think it was to gather energy because based off what we saw a massive shock wave, not just a tiny little explosion from a 30-foot, a 20-foot fireball or whatever. We saw a shock wave that rippled to the other side of the city. Whatever they did, it worked.
I mean, there wasn't a shockwave on this side.
There wasn't.
Oh,
It definitely was on dream side.
well, the material plane and the ethereal plane don't exactly play nice with one another. Things that happen there can affect things here differently and vice versa.
Yeah, but this was different. It was strong enough that it tore through the house. Not a lot, but enough.
In
You
that
know, I
case,
wonder if the fireball broke something which interacted, and that broken thing interacted differently with Dream Realm.
But if you think back specifically, Caligaro's. Oh wait, no, I don't know that.
He said, Luttendorff did say that the room that was blown up was an alchemical lab.
Yeah.
Basically, somebody threw a lit match into a gasoline station.
Yeah.
I'm wondering as well, just if the gem reacted, it would have made more sense for it to be consumed in the explosion. Not that it's not possible it partially did.
Things as magical as this, as far as I'm aware, are quite durable.
It's just us and hers still, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I'm somewhat reluctant to say this, but I get the impression that Luttendorff knows more about the situation than he's letting on.
I get that impression too. Though,
This
I
crystal
mean,
either was
this is
brought by the drow for some reason, or it was created as part of this interaction, which is not exactly something that's easy to do.
Let me put it this way. Don't say that in public. No matter what you believe about Luttendorff or his family, you have to realize they're most likely going to be taking the throne next. They're powerful.
Maybe. They practically own this city.
I didn't plan on grabbing a soapbox.
Or should you? Considering you won't find a lot of people on your side. Luttendorffs are actually pretty loved in this city. Even the Olwics won't fuck with them, and they're historical rivals. I do want to say that both he and his father are rather proud and powerful sorcerers. So if the Drow are looking for something unique and dangerous, it's reasonable to assume that somebody of their skill level would have something like that.
It would be best if we could get this crystal away from the evidence locker.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if
Agree.
the Veiled Archive would have something to say about it being kept here.
I can handle that. Especially if it makes certain things go a little bit better. Robbery gone wrong. Assailants got into the alchemical lab and blew half of it to high hell. That's a lot easier of an explanation as to what happened as opposed to Drow tried to assassinate future Duke. Local Valier Society aspirants accused him of conspiracy.
You can see the headlines now. Now the city loves the gatecrashers and wants us all to be celebrated at the next parade.
Nothing else that might take some of the minds away from the other big headline we've been involved with while we're here.
That or it'll intensify it. Maybe not towards the victims of that specific individual's mini crusade, but sure won't earn you any points.
Like I said, I don't think we plan on marching through the streets.
Might be better to just simply talk with Luttendorff. So far, it seems like he's been relatively decent to you, and that's a lot to say from a lot of noble, and not just this city, but anywhere. So,
Charming.
I'm gonna go talk with Stalfer to try and mop some of this up. We'll categorize and list everything that was found here, and allow Luttendorff and his family to reconstruct what was destroyed in their house. At least the house itself. Sound good?
Yes.
We'll
I
be
think so.
around.
He just kind of gives like a scratch to like
thumbs
the
up.
mechanical arm and turns and starts walking away.
So who wants to go to the bar for a drink?
Normally, absolutely. However, I know I said earlier we shouldn't go bumbling around in the woods, but Sven, you want to go bumbling around the woods for something that very well would not work?
I suppose it's a damn good thing I have this ring, and he holds up the ring of sustenance. Otherwise, I suppose I'd be very tired right now.
I am very tired. I'm feeling
is
my
about-
age.
What?
It's a
Almost
good
2
thing
o'clock.
I have this scroll of keep watch. Vix
It doesn't
graciously
look
donated.
like. It doesn't look like that. Any
When
sort
I
of
need it.
reasonable activity interrupts it.
Moving won't do anything, won't interrupt it. Combat, however, definitely will.
As long as I keep my head down and just, not do anything other than crouch walk for a little bit, I think I'll be all right.
Alright. So are the two of you leaving?
Sure.
Alright. Caroline comes back with Luttendorff as, like, Terse accompanies them as well. He's all smiles in a way, trying to make sure everything goes over a little bit better. Explains a lot of stuff, gives a lot of half answers and whatnot. Luttendorff mostly gives like a, yeah, we just want this to be over with kind of, yeah. As I'm not sure who wants to categorize this or write it down or whatnot. Despite Stouffer having already done that, does it appear like you guys aren't going to stick around much longer?
I'll stick around.
Okay.
I'll probably, make myself useful at least.
All right, Vic. Oh, he's dead.
I can't believe it. He's dead.
Well, it was like a whole 2 hours, so had to happen eventually.
Oh, there he's back.
Yeah, my internet died.
What was the last thing you heard?
I heard probably about 20 seconds of robot noises, and then my name, and then the Discord disconnecting sound.
Nice.
I said that Stouffer comes back with Terse and Luttendorff talking pleasantries. The two of them left. I asked Fernix, like, who's sticking around. Fernix said he would in order to make himself useful and keep an eye on things. And then I asked, what are you doing?
I mean, out of character, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot for us to do here, unless, we all really want to have a deep conversation about this situation. If everyone is kind of doing their own thing, you would probably take like a quick trip just to Bridgefront to see if Madame Carrington is like actually alive and there.
Yeah.
And
Before
then
you
probably
leave,
spend the night. Yeah.
Before you leave, Luttendorff does like thank everybody. He's pleasant. He shakes your hand, and as you turn away, you definitely feel that he has shoved something into your palm. Piece of paper. And he turns away, leaving you to it.
Eventually, Natari's going to be just leaning up, like, behind the rest of the crowd when you eventually show up, Vic. Like, so what the fuck's happening?
That is the question of the hour.
Where did Daxus go?
I walked up a wall with a spin.
Fucking course he did.
They're out in the forest right now.
Of fucking course he is. Jesus fucking Christ. Ugh.
You'll be happy to know that you're probably safe to just go to bed now.
I'm too wired up after all of that. I don't think I could sleep.
All right. Well, I'm headed down to check on Madame Carrington and Melia. I'll probably end up spending the night there.
Fuck it, I've got nothing to do.
All right, if you're not busy.
I was gonna ask, but if you're cordially inviting me, why the fuck not?
Honestly, I didn't expect you to say yes, but whatever.
You don't know. I just want to do literally anything right now. Just anything. I don't care what. Just something to... It was a fucking lot, alright? We went to a fucking dream realm, alright? Doesn't that freak you out even a little bit? Whatever.
Okay.
It takes a bit more than that. Never mind. You're right. It was a fucking shit show, as you might put it.
Yes. It was a
But-
fucking shit show.
We have the time to breathe, and we have the ability to breathe, which I think is the more important part.
Yeah. Not wrong about that. Got any alcohol? I assume we just continue walking. There's
Yeah.
just nothing else.
How long before you try to check the note?
I assumed it was happening as he was walking out, like before he even got to the gate.
Kind of what I assumed.
Yeah. Well, he hands it to you, shakes your hand, and then leaves. Like, doesn't say a damn word. That's about it, and leaves you to it.
Mm-hmm. So as Vic is just walking towards the gate, he'll just casually take a glance.
They're looking for what you are. That's all it reads.
All right.
Yeah, that silence speaks volumes.
All right.
I don't know if they want information right now. Oh, anyway.
All right. You two head off towards Ridgefront. Two of you go out into the woods. Vernix, you remain back here.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm just taking down notes and remaining conscious with whatever coffee I have on me.
Mm-hmm. You inventory some things. Stauffer uses a lot of investigatory terms that you have no idea what they mean. Luttendorff mostly keeps to the side, out of sight. Well, not out of sight, just out of the way. You really inventory everything that's there, and once that's finally done, she takes what she needs to clean up, including the egg-shaped crystal, which she hands over to Terse with like a few words that are whispered to him. It goes into his pocket, and that's the last of that. After that, Luttendorff does a little bit of magic to clean things up, and then that's about it. Thankfully, the fires are out, and what damage has been done isn't gonna get worse. Tomorrow, hopefully, they'll be able to magically restore everything. The two of you that go out into the woods, give me a survival.
I'm going to attempt to assist.
Skills, survival.
Alright.
Still not bad.
You're able
Can
to follow...
I burn an inspiration for Sven?
No.
Oh.
You are able to find the scent, it's rather obvious. You go to the road, it is muddled in with a lot of other things. You're going to be following it along the road for a while. It does get muddled in because of the scent of horses, as well as other people, not just going the direction you are, but going in the other direction. It is during the day it is a much more heavily traveled route, but, yeah. You're outside of the city for maybe about 20 minutes before it kind of veers off the road into the woods. It doesn't go that far, and you find out very easily why that is. As you come up into a dell and find a stripped body hanging from a tree.
What race?
They seem to have been at one point drow.
Good. So in this setting are basically all drow bastards too?
For the most part. It's not absolute, but for the most part.
So it's okay to be racist against them.
Sven makes his own
You would-
choices.
You
I haven't
were
condone
just
anything
looking out from behind the tree.
because my lawyer has told me that's exactly what I need to say.
Sven doesn't know how to react. On one hand, he's like, all drow are bastards. Every single story I've heard about them is them being comically evil. But on the other side, it's always rough to see someone hanging.
Yeah.
Especially like this. So he has kind of mixed feelings where he wants to appreciate it, but it's also a little visceral and real.
I
He's
will,
not-
s-
He's
I will
not
say that
hung, I thought.
he's... Sorry, go ahead.
No, he's not hung. I thought he was just they stripped the body and then left it there.
No, he is hanging. He is stripped completely,
Oh.
arms bound behind his back. He is hanging from a tree. However, he is not high up off of the ground, at all. In fact, where he's hanging, a bit of his toes can still touch the ground.
Sven will cut him down, but won't do anything further.
Yeah.
As he's doing that, I'll eventually cut the silence. Leave it to the drow to do this to one of their own. Probably the one who cocked it up, I'd imagine.
It's very, how do I say it, expected behavior for these kind of people. I'm surprised he didn't meet a worse fate.
Yeah. Well,
He puts
there's
his
nothing
sword back
worse
in the
than
sheath.
betrayal.
He's not gonna make a grave for this drow because it's a drow, but you know they at least deserve to be on the ground.
Fair enough.
There's no belongings strewn about or anything at
Oh
all.
hell
Like,
no, they left him with nothing.
They took it. They took what he had. Okay.
They took everything. They took his socks and his drawers too.
All right, DM. Important question: how big
No.
is
Shut up.
it? Man, I fucking remember running games in high school, and that shit always came up. you would roll for length on every character you made.
Jesus.
Fucking
Teenage hormones.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's our
teenagers.
favorite.
So,
Just looking over the body, just kind of awkwardly look to Sven. You don't know anything about corpses, do you?
Oh, I have
all
a
right.
+9 in healing, if that is what you are referring to.
Well, if you're experienced with
I know a bit of
bodies,
stuff. I know enough to dress animals to roughly understand obvious wounds.
Are you able to tell if this was like 20 minutes ago or 5?
I will give a heal check.
I'll assist.
You're not getting anything out of that. It's definitely within the last hour.
He shrugs. It's fresh, if that's what you're asking.
I can tell that much. Shit. I guess what I'm really trying to ask is, do we go further, or, I mean, this is something. We can still bring this body back, get someone to speak with the dead.
You know, I might be able to follow the trail if it is quite fresh. The question is, you know, do we want to stumble across a drow encampment with just the two of us?
I'm fairly quiet, but someone needs to bring this body back, and I'm not good bumbling around in the dark. I don't have your nose. How confident are you in your stealth?
In my stealth? Not quite.
Does speak with dead work if you just have the
off.
head?
Yes, I believe so.
Technically, yeah.
Well,
Oh wait, speak with dead? I think so.
well, he's not using the rest of his body,
We can just take the whole body.
but if it's not both of us going after the drow, then it's neither of us. That's my thinking.
I do have the potion of invisibility if things get a little bit too heated. And fly.
That would be of major use. All right, then. Yeah, I think this could work. If you feel confident surveying the area more, I can bring this body back.
Oh,
It'll probably take me an hour and a half, probably more. I'm not the strongest, but I can carry a body. Just
You can drag
it's gonna
it.
take me some time.
You can drag it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you're going to begin dragging this body. Sven, are you going off after the scent?
sure. You want me to roll again?
Yes. And also answer me, how far are you going to go?
Just be careful out there, okay?
You're able to find it.
We can spend an hour.
It keeps going. You smell horses. They're on horseback.
Lexius, this might take quite a while. We've been
Oh.
out here for an hour and a half.
Oh, am I still? I thought I was.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought
I
you
was
split
bringing the
up.
body back. Yeah.
Nexius, you drag the body back, and the guards at the gate.
I'm just dressed as normal Daxius at this
Mhm.
point.
How are
Like,
you gonna
I-
explain that?
Just slowly dragging it up until they get within earshot. It's like, and just eventually when they get within like eye distance, just look at the fucking pin. All right, I'm Valier. This is you. You saw the fucking bombing. All right, you know what's up. This is one of the people who did it. All right, now you're gonna waste both of our time, or you're gonna let me through.
You learn nothing from Garugamesh. You learn absolutely nothing from Garugamesh.
It's been a long day.
Would an American cop give a flying fuck about that?
No. At this point, I just want this guy to fucking prove me right.
Kill some guy's dog.
Yeah, kill a dog, sprinkle some crack on you. They ain't gonna beat you, they're gonna arrest you.
Look,
Anyways.
if they go to arrest me, I'm gonna fucking like. It's like just you think about it for a fucking minute.
Let me speak.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Let me speak.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to deal with this because you're obviously being an ass, so...
Well, no, ask it first, but I wanted to. If they're going to try and arrest me, I'll take a step back. It's like, all right, let me explain myself.
I think it's more along the lines of you're dragging a body up, and then immediately being, like, hostile. They at least do see that it is drow, and drow are generally not granted certain rights. However, it is generally considered fucked up to do anything with a dead body, no matter who they were.
I will say, as a guard, if you make a big enough deal right away, and I'm having a rough day, sometimes it's just like, I don't care, go through.
Mm-hmm. After that, it basically comes down to, we don't give a fuck.
At a certain point, I just stopped trying. It's like, well, I did my job. Someone higher up will get me out of this.
Well, yeah, they just don't give a fuck. More along the lines, it's like, you fucking wrap it up first, you dumbass.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I don't have any. I don't have a fucking blanket. I don't have a goddamn. I have some leaves in the forest. If that would fucking work.
We're
You
moving
have
on.
no idea the shit I've been through today, and I'm just. It's just a really angry back and forth.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
Because, holy hell, my brother.
It's just bitching at each other. I mean, it's been a long day. Went through some shit.
The one that actually can talk to people is always the one that never does it.
I didn't mean to be the face.
Love it. You were provided with a burlap sack.
That works.
Yeah. So, you're able to drag that. Where are you taking it?
I'm not taking it anywhere. I'm imprisoned.
No, you're not, you fucking moron.
Oh, I thought they actually put me in irons.
No.
I mean, oh, all right then. Then yeah, I'll just bring it back to the Luttendorff Palace.
My god. Fernix, how long are you gonna be staying there?
I'd probably at least see how it is for a couple of hours. How I'm physically holding up.
They, thankfully they seem to be, mostly clean up within about an hour.
Okay.
With that mostly taken care of, the Onyx Guard depart in order to report back. Seems to be a rather tall woman in charge of that. The captain and the Lunar Guard also take their leave once it's obvious that there's no immediate danger. However, there are guards from both outfits that are posted here to make sure nothing further develops. The crowd is dispersed, and the 4 individuals you saw speaking to one another, they last for a little while longer before first Delisar and Alabaster make their way out. There's very much a conversation, because this is near when everyone else is leaving, so you're able to see things. Delisar hands Terse and Scrivener a business card each before leaving. Scrivener, after that, has like a conversation with Terse that seems to be much more quieted and even before he then kind of gives his nod and turns to leave.
I'll probably follow after him a little bit.
Okay. Terse remains here for a bit, but ultimately ends up going back to the back to Bannerhelm.
Yeah, when the investigative team has kind of departed, I'll be like,
Mhm.
yeah, sorry I lied to get in here, but it seemed like maybe the kind of situation where one should provide assistance even if one is about to pass out.
You're speaking with Terse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's walking back. He's not moving very quickly. He doesn't seem to be like trying to push himself or anything like that. His response more along the lines is, well, sometimes you have to do what you sometimes you have to do what you gotta do. And well, so I'm assuming that what happened with you know,
Vic Smash is headed.
so he's dead.
I hope so.
Well,
It seems like
considering
it.
you die in a dream world, you die in real life too, so I'm pretty
Yes.
sure he's dead.
Just at this point, I admit I feel a bit woozy, but yes, his work seemed to be undone. Dreams done and all that.
His reign of terror is done and people aren't dying over there in that neighborhood for reasons that aren't, falling from the shingles or being stabbed in a mugging. Those we can't help.
Yeah. If it's anything that looks like a resurgence, then let us know. It's also the nature of dying in the dream realm that I feel is not adequately studied. So, that as it may, I'm glad that we all made it out. Madam Carrington included.
Oh, good. I know she's pretty well liked down in Bridgefront, so that's always good.
She did do her utmost to protect people, so it would have been a shame to lose her.
I think it definitely would be. Just, isn't great to come back out and have another incident, but, well, when it rains, it pours.
Yes. I just usually hope it's water.
He just kind of gives a head shake, doesn't really answer that, sort of lets the statement stand.
I just kind of reaching into my pocket. Oh, yes, and I apologize for not being able to come by earlier. I suppose I was preoccupied with all of the other matters, but I reached out and I hand him a potion. It's only about 3 hours worth, but that's the spell bottled if you need it.
This one that disappears, or is this an actual brewed one?
No, this is a brewed one.
Okay. He takes it up
Honey.
and says, I might save this for tomorrow morning. I don't sleep with this on.
I do turn it off myself. It's a bit distracting.
Other than
But,
that, he's...
yeah.
Yeah. Meow.
He meows.
No,
I
that
only
heard
thought
the meow in
cat
the
folk did that.
background. Just screaming cat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she loves to do that.
Who has the book, by the way?
Probably not me.
I would assume it's either Vic or Fernix, given that Fernix was the one who performed the ritual to get out.
Yeah, I probably
Vic
do
is the
still
one
have
in
that
charge of
then.
everything else.
Yeah, on my actual inventory
Okay.
information that you can get me with at the drop of a hat, I have the Clovis Somnus. So
You have the key, at least. So yeah, I'm assuming you
yeah.
have it as the book as well.
Mhm.
All right. Other than that, he's mostly gonna make small talk, kind of trying to get an idea as to what happened on the other side. You know, you
Yeah,
get the idea that I guess Cyrus did leave a little before this. If you ask about it, Chur said he had to send him to go do something else, and just kind of.
Sure.
He at least
Yeah,
explains that Cyrus gave you a pretty good write-up and that everything was handled okay.
Oh.
He does say that Cyrus says that some of you are a little too ambitious when it comes to stumbling into things.
He did he?
Something along the
he-
lines of looking before you leap.
Right. I admit that the optimal distancing for burst of positive energy is a little bit close to the action, and I was rather adamant in my need to do that. I suppose would be good to have some defensive magic on, but it just hasn't been necessary previously. I mean, for groups with a arcane spellcaster, not as though we don't have one, just most of them talk about the big flashy effects and having to work around that, but we really haven't been dealing with that so much. So it is definitely a thing we could use some work on. But in that situation, yeah, I did kind of need to be close enough to feel that fireball.
Yeah. Trust me when I say that not every mission goes smoothly, not every mission goes the way you want it to. Any mission you walk away from is one worth having done.
Yeah. It was a lot closer than I would have liked. I'm glad, of course, that we made it, but is the desire to improve so potentially destructive that can't pat ourselves on the back for a job well done once in a while?
Well, as long as it stays an actual win and that nothing qualifies it afterwards. Like I said, as long as you walk away and you actually learn something afterwards, that's really all that matters.
Things went about as well as they could, I think. So.
Then take solace in that.
Yeah.
No one died. Well, no one that we gave a shit about died.
Nope. No one that wasn't supposed to. So, yeah. I guess that's it. I'm glad that we all made it out.
Good. Then we'll have some, I don't know, group tomorrow and try and enjoy some things.
Really?
Yeah. And till then, try to get some rest and well, honestly, about that. Get some rest.
Yeah. I'm sure I could get a couple of hours in at least, but I'm sure we'll be around tomorrow. We have some other. Yeah, it's pressing business. Still, it was a case of this being more important, is all.
Well,
It shouldn't take up all of our time at all. So.
No. It'll be fine. I'll let you know if anything comes up, and good job at least. And he offers his hand.
Thanks. Shake him.
You shake him, not his hand.
Yeah. I shake his hand.
All right. Yeah.
There. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. I'm really trying to not have my eyes flutter shut on me.
Yep, you're able to You get your way back to the house. You're getting, or not the house, back to Banner Home. It's like 3 a.m. now.
Back to the dock's house. I'm like, what?
No.
Fuck.
Somehow you teleported 80 miles. So Daxius, yes,
can
you're
do it.
probably. You get to the house
Just-
and no one's there. If you ask questions, the guards said that like everyone left.
Well, shit. Just going to brace myself for another even longer drag than I thought to the North Light Citadel, so I can have somewhere to fucking stay. And I don't think
You mean
this is
Banner
a ban-
Home?
I don't know if Banner Home wants to. I mean, I've already used their rooms for basically what they might as well think to be hostages. I don't know if they'd be happy with me bringing in a body.
I don't know.
Might be.
I have no fucking idea.
Oh,
Oh,
I love that everyone's internet's being just the funnest shit today.
Ain't it great?
Either way,
Maybe.
so you're gonna take it to the Citadel to have it preserved by the guard.
oh no! I'm asking them to just hold on to it until tomorrow, so the Valier Society can get a look at it, just to put it in a dungeon somewhere.
Well, if you bring it in, you explain that Captain Stauffer sent you, and that this body has to do with an open case. They will tag it and basically treat it as evidence in an ongoing case, so that everything's preserved.
Oh, I don't trust them, but it beats dragging another fucking half mile or more.
The amount of people that you can trust, is that more than one hand that you can count them on, or?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. You're able to get back to Banner Home not long after that. Sven, kind of the same thing. You don't really see anything coming the other way. Natari and Vic, you're able to walk your way back to Bridgefront, getting into the Aneromancer's room that Madame Carrington has above her home. It is like the lights are like lit up, so obviously somebody is home. And you find that Carrington has made it back. Her partner kind of explains that she's still very, very weak, and that she's probably going to be bedridden for a while, but that she's not dead, and that is the important part.
Well, it's good to hear. Hopefully
am
things
I
should be
here
settled
for this, or
No.
No.
At this point, you
Well,
would
I
be
think she
out
should-
tracking the scent to before you even found the body.
okay?
Go ahead.
Well, hopefully things should be settled, so people should be able to return to
She thinks
Bridgefront
that Nick
without as many
has.
issues. Good. It's good to hear that she's at the very least responding.
She's going to be out of action for quite a while, and I suppose that's not the worst outcome.
Well, if anyone needs some rest, deserves the rest, it's probably her. Just wanted to check in, make sure things were settled. For now, at least. Have a good night.
You too.
He just
Mm.
heads out. He's not gonna. You're gonna go over to the temple in South
Okay.
Shore where Melly was resting. It's not gonna wake her up or anything if she's like already out. But
It's 3 a.m.
basically,
Yeah.
just gonna spend the night there.
Okay. Natari just wanders back to Banner Home on her own.
Yeah, she's been entertained enough, and
Fair enough.
she talks idly with Vic. Like, says like, at least like, she's alive. One of the people I actually liked. Kooky, but Good people. Just idle conversation with Vic, kind of sizing him up a little bit. This is the first time she's been alone with him for an extended period. And then, yeah, I go back to Banner home.
All right. And I think this is about a decent place for us to take our little break. Actual break this time, as opposed to we're trying to step away to fix technical issues. So maybe like 15 minutes, come back at about 8:45, and then we'll pick up from there. All right.
Cool.
So, see us then.
Peace.
And we're back. All right. A little bit long, but that's okay. So, I think most of you are getting back to Bannerhome at vaguely the same time. When does everyone plan to sleep? Like, sleep until?
I can sleep in.
I only need to sleep for 2 hours. But yeah, no, I think with the scent thing, you didn't ask, but I definitely do go back after it's been an hour.
Yeah. No, I did ask, and I said, how long are you going to go? And I said, yeah, you're going to be following the same road. It's going to be just going, like, they're on horseback, and they've got an hour lead on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else?
Probably until like noon, maybe 11. Probably 11.
Vic is out, so probably going to sleep in a little bit more than he usually does, but, you know.
Okay. Maybe until like
that
9?
could be for probably something like that. He's not going to head straight back to Bannerhome, though. Just going to chill in Melia in the morning.
Okay. She's going to definitely be pleasant. She's still a bit weak, but is definitely a lot better. Like, she can move around better overall. Maybe another day or two and she'll be fine. A lot of asking for gory details and making sure, she hated more the Night Hag than she did Naum. There's an interesting, like, as you're talking, where you get this feeling that she, like, while she hated the Night Hag, Naum, she almost pitied, in a way.
Yeah, there might still be some chunks of brain matter left on Fenrir and Vic's clothing, so looking for a souvenir.
Yeah, probably. So yeah. The rest of you probably like around 11.
Probably earlier, but Sven's doing his normal thing.
Yes, Sven, what are you doing like during this time between 3 a.m. and 11 a.m.?
Hunting, like normal.
Okay, you're just out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna bother with you having your survival check because that's what you're doing. Eventually, you're gonna meet your quota. It might take an hour or two, or it might take basically all 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
So, of the two of you at Bannerhome, who is up first?
Wait, there's only two of us at Bannerhome? Oh,
Yeah.
I'll probably be up first. I'm gonna get poked in the shin. Ah! It's been exactly 8 hours. Alright, thank you. And I'll just get up and, I guess, kind of see if other people are awake.
As you go outside into the hallway, you open the door, and sitting in the hallway looking up at you is that silver coyote.
Hi there.
Probably gonna want to talk to all four of you, so once everybody's around, I'm gonna get fed.
I think I can probably help out with that. Etor, could you... Alright. Just starts going off to the nearest direction of whoever he happened to spot coming in.
Daxius, when are you getting up?
About 10-15 minutes after that.
Okay. The two of you who weren't there, when are you getting back?
I don't know, probably like 10.
Okay. So, okay, Vic's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Hmm. Isn't technology grand, everybody?
Yippee.
Very.
Only when
So-
it works.
We're gonna assume that he sort of eventually shows up around this time period. That works maybe like 11. So, yes, the canine follows Etor downstairs in order to be fed, which is probably the most that she's stuck around, as opposed to just showing up, dropping a letter off, and immediately leaving. But you're the first one to see her. Sven, if you're downstairs, you might see Etor leading her to a table to be fed.
Yeah, I'll go and pay the attendant person for whatever she asked for, basically.
And Daxius, what? Yep, there he goes.
Dang nabbit.
That's good on you.
We love technology, don't we, folks? Great. There's never any problems whatsoever.
Only when we point it out.
Only when we point it out, Or, we have something important going on, and, it'd be really awkward if we stopped or something like that. Then it would be, yeah. What was the last thing you heard?
It's been a while. I think Fernix mentioned something about getting the coyote something to eat.
Okay, so not that long ago. I think I was just asking where people were when they got up. Sven said he was already back. I then asked, and when are you getting back? And then that's when we noticed that you weren't moving and didn't answer.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. He's dead.
Yeah. I don't know what the issue is. Like, it's been totally fine all day. And then
When it's
Whatever.
work, it's not going to interrupt you during work, but as soon as you have something you want to do, then it's fuck
No.
you.
I'm like, did we even get her name? I don't think the name was given.
No.
Yeah. I guess if I happen to see Sven, then I'll be like, the coyote is back.
The coyote is back.
Yes. Not Terse, the actual. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, Thurs has always been here.
Yeah, you're able to see him, like, the office door's open. You
Yeah.
can't see him through it, but because it's up on the second floor, but you know the office door's open, so he's definitely
Yeah,
here.
when they say the
That's gonna be
coyote is
like
back,
he's-
Sven kind of looks over to there and is like, "Is he?"
He hears that. Oh,
Hmm. Hey, who is this coyote?
the one that gave us the message on the ship.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
It was like a few weeks, yeah.
Oh, I guess it was only a few weeks ago. Huh.
Yes. And it's been, relatively. A few weeks is a long time.
Yeah.
Especially when you happen to be a housefly. Yes. So, she said that she'd rather give the message to all of us at once.
Vic will probably be back in relatively not long after everyone gets up and is collecting, I would assume.
Okay.
Make my way down the stairs eventually. Now I am drawing a blank on this person.
A little bit same. I very vaguely remember them.
She was the one that you saw in Innsbruck that you chased down. And she kind of told you that you were fucked, boyos. She later then delivered the
Oh,
letter.
you
when
mean
you,
the literal,
yeah,
literal.
literal.
Okay, not okay. That's what I thought.
She's not
maybe,
Beastfall.
but
Yeah, she's not
okay.
Beastfall.
I mean, you never know sometimes.
She can talk.
Just clock it and just go sit at the bar, like I'm done with this shit.
Yeah. So, what does she want?
Well,
Lay my head down.
I guess she'll have to be the one to say that.
Is she here?
Yeah.
Is she like...
She is currently sitting at a table, like a booth table. Etor has, like, been kind of there, like, almost... I want to say that he's, like, trying to fuck with her, and she's just not having any of it. Like, she'll eat, and he'll reach out, and she'll snap at him. And, like, he'll recoil, and she'll laugh. And just, this kind of happens a few times, because I'm assuming Etor doesn't learn.
Yeah, he's very, like, tactily engaged, so he's probably trying to grab her fur and, like, pull on it.
Yeah.
Like if you gave a crow fucking hands.
Yeah, pretty much. Eating food off of plates that have been delivered to the table. She seems to be able to put it away.
Mhm.
Sven just nods. Are we going to talk to her? Is she going to come to us?
Whenever Vic
Alright.
gets here.
Yeah, I figured we could all convene over there once, figure out where Vic is.
Sitcom music plays, door opens, laugh track.
Sven's picking his teeth.
Well,
I'm also
It's
picking Sven's
somebody
teeth.
else's teeth.
Everyone's picking everyone else's teeth.
Somehow.
This is this is how heaven works.
But yeah,
Okay,
you're able
on.
to speak with Melia for a while. Like I said, she still has a bit of recovery to do, but she's definitely a lot better. She's able to get up and move around. She's not really she's not going to be traveling today, but a few more days and she'll be fine. As I said, her injuries weren't physical; they were psychological. In a magic kind of way. She talks to you for some time, gathers information, just sort of war stories, hearing about how everything went. she's definitely happy that that Carrington survived first of all, because I guess her answer would be because that woman's already suffered too much. She's also glad that the temple is able to tell the people of Bridgefront who are living here that they're able to go back to their homes without fear of dying in their sleep, which is always nice. And yeah, she says she's gonna be here and see how things go.
Yeah. Vic is very glad that she's moving, if not wholly better.
Mm-hmm.
So, I assume at some point he notices Fenrir's gotten a little bigger once again.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. You also notice that the head has moved a couple of times, but he seems to be holding that pose the whole time.
Yeah. I'll just kind of look at it for a second. Oh. Just kind of thinks to himself, like, if he doesn't feel like talking about it, then we'll just worry about that later. Just... This is...
I'm assuming you're doing this in the temple. Yeah. He died. He died again.
Oh, damn.
Wow. That's
Cannot
a
catch a
record, yeah.
break.
Was that like 10 minutes maybe? Yeah.
Just about.
I'm gonna also delay so you can blame it on me. I'm gonna run and get my coffee real quick because it's done.
That's fine, because you timed it pretty well, so... Jesus. How are you guys?
So let's start doing a flashback to when Sven was cool. I don't know.
Never.
But we're not getting a flashback, boys. He's gotten quiet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pull something like that out of my ass. I know my limits.
Flashback, flashback, flashback.
Love that every week it's like somebody has some kind of technical problems, and you have to like basically move kittens around like, you know, like you're moving fine bottles of wine.
Never be simple.
Well, normally.
I can figure out what you heard
Bottles of wine.
last when you froze.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, this time it's not only disconnected from the Wi-Fi, but asked me to put the password back in again.
Lovely.
Wow.
Yeah, so I swapped to the 5 gigahertz instead of the 2.4.
Hopefully that
Seems to be
helps.
working.
For now.
Anyway, I think I was about to just start walking and just say, you know, to Fenrir, it's like, well, it looks like you've gotten bigger again.
As soon as you're outside, he will drop it. His actual head is able to fully move now, and he just says, "They've been staring at me all fucking morning."
Does that... I mean, does that bother you?
He just kind of like as much as his head can turn, just kind of looks to you and says, "Would you like it if they were all looking at you like this?" And like he's able to hold that pose of like dead-eyed, not blinking, you know, stare for like a solid like 15 seconds.
Looked like the cat was about to puke.
She's
Not sure if it's
like-
your cat or if it's Burgess,
No.
who is
Burgess'
proudly
cat.
waving his ass at the camera.
Yep, she
Yeah,
is.
so-
She loves to show that off. No, you don't need the coffee.
Cats are great.
I have to be careful because the one cat I was like, oh, she's just gonna sniff my coffee. She went in like was drinking a lot of fucking like black coffee, and I'm like, oh my god, no. Don't get caffeine, dude. What are you doing?
Just
They got
waiting for it to
caffeine.
just stick his entire foot in the coffee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Broiling
the-
hot, sticks his foot in anyways.
yeah. I had to go and get their water again because it got tipped over. So it might have happened right before or around the time that game started, and then they were trying to tell me the whole time. They were like, "Hey, I'm thirsty." Mm-hmm. Wow.
Was it your cat that was gonna puke?
No, Birch's cat on the camera started like
Oh,
doing
like
that.
Yeah,
doing
she was
that.
trying to. She was trying to get this, which I yeah.
Oh,
Shouldn't
she
be
was
tapping.
robbing it.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah, I thought the cat was just like inches away from the camera about to just puke on your face.
That would be
That would be our luck. Cat
That'd be pretty
pukes right
great.
on camera.
yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? You do worse.
Sucked for you, but it'd be really funny.
Yes.
Then a cat projectile vomiting on camera. Yeah, I guess you can do worse.
Yeah, surprise sixth addition to the stream. Anyway.
Moving right past that.
Well, I mean, at least back to society, I imagine, wouldn't be the strangest thing most of the people that I've seen.
Well, I don't want to encourage them. Especially when there's
Fair
so
enough.
many kids in there. I know you don't have to deal with it, but they like to pet me like I'm a dog. And I don't appreciate that.
Oh. I can imagine that would be uncomfortable.
Oh, I mean, it's really uncomfortable until they cut themselves, and then it's funny. But suddenly, it's my fault.
I suppose if anyone would probably be my fault for having you unattended. In any case, I imagine the others are waiting for us.
I don't know, they can pretty much take care of themselves by themselves. Who am I kidding? No, they can't. Something's probably on fire. Or has been on fire and is out now.
In any case, let's head back.
But you died again.
No.
Yeah, you're able to move your way back through the city.
Fix shit, internet shits itself any percent run.
I know. Like, 5 minutes? 10 minutes? I don't know.
Let's
5
go for
seconds?
under a minute. World record pace.
You arrive back at Bannerhome probably around like 11:15. So probably as Daxius is coming downstairs, or a few minutes beyond that, because we're kind of working on some weird timelines. But you get in and are able to spot your various compatriots conspiring with one another or hungover at the bar, despite, I don't believe, drinking last night.
Yes, that's why.
Oh, you're having the bends.
The shakes.
More or less, and it was also just a very long night. Just
I'm pretty
eventually
sure
I
if you go to a church, they'll cast restoration or lesser restoration on you. I think that'll get rid of your addiction.
I
don't
mean,
think
it's
that's enough.
fucking holy. I don't have an addiction. You have a fucking addiction. That's what I say whenever tries to pull that shit. So no, he's just suffering with it.
As is tradition.
Vic
No,
will
you're
walk
drinking-
in.
Do you ever drink any water?
Water might be a good idea, actually. In any case, just points to the far table. I'm sure you've seen him.
I figure Etcher by now has stopped trying to grab at her, but has not like
Mhm.
100% given up that war.
Yeah.
Our old friend from Innsbruck.
I wonder what what the occasion is.
Hmm.
Well, just looks at everyone.
Yeah.
Well, we're all here now.
True.
Oh my god, okay. I just stand
Mhm.
up.
Yes.
And I'm going to just walk to the table silently.
I'm looking for names.
She never gave hers.
No, I mean of space station guy.
It's
Dorian.
Yes.
By now, the coyote has put away like enough for an adult man, and seems to be rather satisfied with herself as you guys are wandering over.
Oh, I had a chance to eat.
She just kind of like wipes her, like actually like wipes her face on like the napkin that's like sitting on the table, and she just sits up and like and just gives a, yeah, that was pretty good.
But they do okay here.
So what are we doing?
Is
Mhm.
anyone...
I
think
force
they
everyone to
might
get
be
into
first.
seats.
Yes. We're all sitting there at the table, waiting, eagerly awaiting whatever information the coyote thing has to say, fellas.
Well, you were told that somebody was gonna come and pick it up. Of course, it was gonna be me.
Oh.
Can't say it's a displeasure seeing you again, but you've caught
I
us
can
at
fuck
a-
you. No, I'm kidding.
You've caught us at a very a lot's happened, as I'm sure you know well.
And a lot more is about to happen.
What
do you mean by that?
Break.
What I'm saying is, once I take the page and go back to put that where it needs to go, I'll be seeing you in about a week.
Mm,
Hmm.
For what?
Well, come
It
on
feels-
now.
Feels like we can't catch a break.
For
I-
real.
Wouldn't suppose that
You know,
Dorian.
at least the boat ride over was nice because there wasn't anything that happened.
Well, I'm certain that the travel will probably be pretty peaceful, but you know, once you get there,
you get there.
you get there.
Right.
Or are we leaving this shithole?
Sorry, what?
Are we leaving this shithole?
Well, generally speaking, if you want to go someplace else, you have to leave the place you already are.
It's true.
I mean, to be fair, you haven't told us where that other place is, so we can't exactly plan to leave anywhere without knowing where we're going.
It might be
You're-
better to just
You're already
do
planning
two
to
plane
go
trips.
there.
Oh.
All right, so that was going to be my follow-up question. I suppose we'll probably want to see if the contract with the Luttendorffs is still on the table.
Exactly.
It's one way to go
Wait.
about it.
Would have been a bit awful to bring it up last night upon
Yeah.
seeing them.
So we're signing it, yeah?
And I think we were probably going to anyway, right?
Seemed to be the consensus
Yes,
I gathered.
I think that we should.
And you
I
should
think
take
we
care of
need to-
his problem first.
Sven kind of looks a little bit like, yeah.
Mhm. Well, it's a good thing that it's in a week. So,
I suppose we should take care of my thing. But I don't know. We just go to the wizard about it and
mhm.
Indeed. We needed to gather a few participants.
are we sure there isn't anything more we need to do beforehand? Sven seems like he's trying to like deep down maybe he's trying to stall.
Mhm.
Like putting it off.
It is a question that I would have asked you, but also considering the last time I brought it up, I suppose I had failed to see it from the other perspective. It might be better to just get it over with.
I suppose so. I suppose so.
Spoke with
Rip the bandage off, as they say.
Yeah. I certainly just didn't want you to be having to deal with something that's obviously getting to you. But well,
Do we do it today? Tomorrow?
I can manage the protective magic today.
Well,
Woke up late and also.
if we needed the 5 total, I believe I already talked to Melly about it, and she was willing to help, but we'll need at least another few days to recuperate.
Well, you got a decent caster sitting in that office upstairs.
That would be
Right.
a 5th.
Even though he likes to pretend that he isn't.
I admit it's a kind of thing I ended up doing as well. Always told myself it was better to just not get jumped on the road, you know.
Well, we all hide things for very different reasons. The reasons you hide things and the reason he hides things are definitely a bit different.
Well, still, I guess if he wants to talk about it, I'd rather hear it from him. Not that I wouldn't mind, not that I'm not curious. But still, I suppose everyone does have things they'd rather keep under wraps. Still gotta change the bandages eventually.
So, where is the page?
I think I've got it because it's in the book.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'll bring that out.
As
Turn
you
to it.
do, as soon as like the page is like within distance, like she'll put her teeth around it and pull it free of the book and put it onto the table. Just one paw up on the table. Looks to all you and says, well, that's one dangerous thing dealt with. For now. These things don't ever really go away. You just have to hide them really well and hope no one finds them. Never works, not in the long run.
Certainly
Yeah.
didn't this time.
Sorry, say again?
Certainly didn't this time.
Well, sometimes when people go looking for things, things find them.
Was
The bald
definitely-
one wasn't nearly as nutso until he came across this. Oh, he was pretty nutso, but you know. Once
I
somebody's
guess we
already a
should-
little unhinged, it's pretty easy to tear them off the hinges entirely.
Should
Right.
we destroy the book?
Up to you. This one, and she just like taps the page. Not so easy to destroy. The rest of it, that's your prerogative.
It might be good to study it at first, but yeah, if there's too heavy a risk with the page extracted, then better to destroy it.
Well, slow people down for now. Eventually somebody will start asking the same questions, but hopefully it'll take them a lot more time to work through it rather than coming across an entire genealogy's history of studying the same question.
Was figuring maybe someone on the other side of the coin might end up developing counter magic so that this kind of thing has easier workaround.
Yeah, usually when one wizard comes up with something, they hide things until it gets to the point that when they do finally debut it to the public, there's not usually a lot of opportunity to try and counter it. And by the time somebody does counter it, they destroy their own work in the hopes that nobody tries to ask the question of what was this countering.
Yeah. I guess that is how it's gone a lot, huh?
For a minute there, I wanted to blame humans, because let's be honest, most humans are fucking myopic and stupid, but, wizards too.
Yes, let's
Individuals.
not blame exclusively the casters of one race.
Oh no, everybody's equally stupid when they feel like it. Don't I know it? So I'm assuming, because I can already feel the tension in the air, what's the question of the day?
Well, what are you going to do with it?
Sorry, say again?
What are you going to do with the page?
Probably best I don't tell you, and also at this moment, I don't really know myself. I'll let Cal handle that. He's good at hiding stuff.
All right.
I guess the outstanding question of the day is, what the fuck?
There's a lot of questions, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of can't answer what the fuck. That's a little too broad.
Yeah. Do you have, well, do you know anything about the explosion that happened? You didn't happen to be there in the dream world, did you?
Dream world, no. Material world, not really either. I do remember feeling a lot of very powerful magic go out, so somebody was probably fucking with something they shouldn't have. And let's be honest, that's always true. People are looking for things, dangerous things, and let's just say somebody found it. For a second or two.
If you're speaking of the stone, we've got it in better hands than it.
Say again?
If you're referring to the stone, we've got it in better hands than it was.
Ah. Well, good for that. Hopefully, ends up with the silver-haired lady what came up and took the plane.
You know, I wonder if Madam Carrington, of all people, would be trusted with this book. If anyone could develop countermeasures to it, it would be her.
She mentioned she wanted it. It'd be best to discuss with Toes and Cyrus, but if anyone I would trust with it, I would probably agree. I don't know. Maybe it's best I just burn it.
Might not be a bad idea to get some other opinions on the matter, too. She is, after all, specialized in this sort of thing, so...
Fortunately, there's no right or wrong answer here.
I would love to say that I want to study it. I want to finish reading it, but I've got so many other things to read. I don't have the time for it anyway.
It's okay. Thank you.
Whose dog was that?
It's mine.
Well,
So you died again. You're just sitting there. I'm like, okay.
Not externally. Those dogs don't ever stop barking.
well, I think we can simmer on the book question for now. I just really want to know about that fucking explosion because, I mean, I don't know. Something about it doesn't sit right with me.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
Yeah, you're pretty far from your mind.
No.
There's something. Sensitivity's not up.
I don't know. Something about last night feels off to me.
Which part?
Well,
If there was a part of last night that felt right to you, maybe questioning your sanity.
fair enough, but I mostly mean, like, at least so far I've been able to, like, with some effort, put the pieces together of everything that's been happening. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense, that makes sense, this makes sense. I don't know. There's just pieces. There are still pieces of the puzzle that I knew were missing, and now it feels like the board's 5 times larger than I thought it was.
My
That's
question
it?
is always, where?
Yeah, I know.
Where could the stone have possibly come from? I mean, was it in the Luttendorff's palace? Was it brought by the drow themselves? Did it just magically appear out of the fucking air? I don't know.
Yeah, like that other book.
Either way,
Oh, that got delivered to that boy. Question is where it came from.
It did seem like it did anyway.
It
Same.
almost seemed like somebody was fucking about with something. Didn't know how things would go, and maybe they went exactly how they planned, or maybe they didn't.
both.
But either way, the only thing I was lost was some dumb kid who couldn't keep his nose out of the wrong book.
It's still pitiable.
Absolutely. But think about it from the other side.
Yeah, if someone just needed a test run for whatever, then they definitely got it. Which is, at the same time, really disturbing in its own right.
Well, you're kind of dealing with people that don't really see other people as having much value other than what they can do and what they can give. We deal with them pretty much every single day. It's just these ones are worse because they have, pretty decent arcane abilities. Generally speaking. And yes, I do know a pretty decent amount. Not all of it, though. Which is half the problem.
Yeah, no, that'd be too easy.
Hmm. I mean, if it's more secure that we don't know, it's probably better. Can't get picked off. Some errant scrying spell or someone happening to sift off your surface thoughts.
Yeah, it's a way to look at it.
That's at least the reason I was always told in school. But it does hold a little bit of water at least.
Either way, you're not nearly as dead as I thought you would be. Still,
Yeah,
the future that I saw, Caligaro murked all of you. Then
It's,
again,
Certainly tried.
the kitsune with the gun wasn't there in that one.
he definitely helped. It was a bit closer than I would have liked,
You know,
but we did make it. Of course, that's thanks to everybody just getting pushed to the very edge of my abilities where I had about one more spell in me, or one good one anyway.
Her eyes, as you're talking, go from looking at you to looking at Daxius. And she has that look on her face go ahead, boyo, ask the question. God knows you want to.
Is no one going to point out? You know it. No, no one going to point out what they said.
About
what, the Cyrus being a kitsune, the seeing the future, any of the other absurdities that were brought up in this conversation.
Yeah, basically all of that. Never mind then. Just
If we couldn't roll with the punches at this point, then we probably wouldn't be here.
it's not
Fair
as
enough.
though, one doesn't have a certain keenness to their senses.
Well, future sight isn't always what it's cracked up to be because it's not very reliable. Farther out an event you look at, the less likely it is to come true. So fortune tellers actually can tell you some things up to about 48 hours. After that, it's total guesswork, if not total bullshit.
I do appreciate that you happen to look into such matters on our behalf, though.
How many times have you seen us
Still-
die in these visions? Just out of curiosity.
Not quite half, but getting close to it.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll be
Pendulum.
honest.
Really. The pendulum that swings back and forth between how things go and how things are most likely to go. See, and the funny
I-
part is, a lot of this isn't going the way logically it should go.
Oh,
Like I said, you should have died in that house. Probably taken Caligaro with you, but I would have left somebody else to try and put the stone away, which probably wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I can tell that you're subtly shit-talking us. We get it.
no, it's
Shit
It's
talking or
something.
just telling you what possibly could have happened?
Both.
I mean, there is just the fact that, well, we could have gone in without the stone and all these other things.
I believe the way that went down is somebody talked you into going in significantly earlier. You went in and used that the guy with the turban on his head, his little Hydra demon, to get into the dream world. No book, no key, no real plan. Rushed in and died.
No, that sounds entirely possible.
So what you're saying is our propensity for taking way too long in the planning phase actually helped this time, and we should do it more in the future.
What I'm saying is, sometimes it's okay to overthink things, sometimes it's not, and you should go with your gut. Because I already know there are certain things that are gonna happen. What I'm saying is you got some tests coming, and I really hope you don't fuck them up. And by tests, I mean
Yeah.
quite literally. Not the written kind, though. We don't like doing those. It's too much reading.
I almost felt sick for a moment.
Yeah, no,
Like-
no written tests.
Would have expected to be in a waking nightmare again in the next second.
I would have preferred a written test. Oh, God.
All I can say is that the drow are already... They're a couple steps ahead of you already.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Certainly know something that we don't.
And they certainly knew that somebody at least had the information possible to get them what they wanted, even if they kind of fucked it up in the end. But that's usually how things go, let's be honest.
Well, they didn't get away with the stone. It's not the one we found.
No, and perhaps that might be the best outcome possible.
What was it you were saying about things not staying hidden forever?
Oh yeah, they have a propensity to end up in someone's hands eventually.
Right. That. I mean, I've had this feeling for a while, but man, everything is fucked. And we're in the middle of it.
He kind of like gives a giggle and then stands up a little bit, like putting her front paws on the table, and like immediately growls and snaps at you and says, "No, you fucking idiot! What you don't seem to get is that things are really in motion, and you actually have the opportunity to do something about it. So I would say don't fuck it up."
Yeah, great fucking advice. What do you think we're gonna try and do?
No.
I don't know. Let's see. Be a bunch of selfish assholes. How about that?
Hey,
Not everybody, but you know, I'm talking as a unit.
after what we just did,
Which was very good. Thank God Carrington didn't die. That woman doesn't deserve it.
no. And, I mean, hell, try our best, honestly.
See, but the thing is, she just kind of like leans onto the table a little bit, like putting her front legs down. There's a black hole around you, assholes. By which I mean that things that happen around you don't go the way that maybe they should, and she just like leans forward and starts scratching her ear. Carnival should have got away, most likely. Probably would have got killed by border guards not too long later, but, well, that's that. The drow would have gotten away, would have pissed off for their matron and caused possibly a civil war, but, well, that's the drow, it's sort of how they roll. What I'm saying is that every time you manage to involve yourself, things go in a way that who the hell knows. And right now, as the pendulum of fate is swinging towards everything going to shit, maybe a black ball isn't so bad. And no, before you ask me the question of, why don't I tell you this stuff before? Why don't I tell... Because it's not always the way things work. And similarly, and she just mostly, like, looks to, like, some of you and says, if you were me, would you trust you with what I know? I mean, be honest.
No.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I'll see you in about a week. And should, everything go right and you pass through those tests, I'm about to show you a world you didn't know fucking existed. And it's gonna be real fun for everyone involved.
Odd?
I'm just cheering to get this done and over with. Ugh, I can't even articulate.
Well, I'll be on my best form then.
We'll do our damnedest. Not to disappoint, but, you know. For the gate crashers, fucking this up is what we do best.
Yeah. Seems to be how it goes. So, do you have any other questions for me? Before I mosey back and hide this little baby somewhere in the cosmos? Or, no, I'll probably just give it a cow and he'll hide it somewhere. I can't really be trusted with a lot of this stuff either, if I'm being honest.
Do you think maybe we could get your name at least?
My name
So
is
you don't have
Nyala.
Pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, Nyala.
Although, if he's pissed at me, Cal usually just screams Naya.
Oh yeah, is a good nickname.
And no, I'm not a
Well-
spirit, but I'm something somehow worse and better than that. That one I can't really explain because I don't think it's really my place to. Yeah.
I try not to classify things that aren't trying to kill me into this or that.
I guess my question is, what part do you have in this?
I'm the one who runs messages. I'm Ratatosker going up and down the world tree. For
Nice.
better or worse. But
Metaphor,
I also generally do things like spy work, espionage. See, people don't see people like me. I can go a lot of places and I'm just a dog. Woof woof.
right. Is a pretty good cover.
Yeah, I just wish I had thumbs. And she like lifts her paws up and like the vestigial like she wiggles a little bit and then like puts her paws back down. Still pissed about that one.
It is
Can you
rather
cast
annoying.
spells?
Me? No.
Damn.
But Cal can cast through me.
Ah, well, maybe if... I mean, Fernix, you could have a nifty spell that could help. Maybe they alter it a bit.
I think about the effects that the astral limb spell would have. Do you want a giant just force arm? Is that
She just
Never
kind of like
mind.
thinks about it. Oh, that'll piss off Cal so much. So yes.
then I mean, if you don't mind sticking around, just gotta prepare for an hour.
Well, that's the fun part about me being me. I don't have to. Doesn't take me really long to travel where I need to, even if it is tiring.
I think we have actually a cork that's edible. Should work with the. You don't have too much of a sugar sensitivity, right?
Not really. I think I'm
Can you
able
put
to
the
eat dirt. That'd be okay. I don't like it though, but I can do it.
Made some sugar glass to put the potions in, so can just kind of toss it in your mouth and chew and scare the hell out of anyone who doesn't know that it's not glass.
No,
That's really funny.
Mhm.
I can see how I can piss Cal off one way or the other. He's busy at the moment, but fortunately that's part of the why I'll be seeing you in a week.
Right. Well, in either case, I can, I can have one prepared for you.
And I know this question wasn't really asked, but I can hear somebody thinking it really loud. Somebody else knows about these things, why don't they take care of it themselves? She just kind of gives a smile and looks around the table. If only it worked that way. If only we could be at all places at all times. To be honest, the only reason that we're bothering to try and recruit is because things are getting a bit dangerous. The flyboy and his pilot, that was a real curveball. The musician with a switchblade, and he's fun, but at least he ain't dangerous. The dwarf selling mechanical limbs. At least she's useful. But things are getting real fucking dangerous. And the whack job trying to make his own dream realm only made things worse. Because the barrier between here and other places is really, really thin. And you and I, you, Cyrus, the beast folk, people down in Port Azar, we aren't the only ones that know.
Mhm.
And if you think the people down in Port Azar are dangerous, you have no clue. Because unfortunately, neither do we. We don't know who the hell's pushing for a lot of this shit, but someone is. Be nice if we beat them to the punch.
Right. Well, whatever logistically makes the most sense. It's what you gotta do.
The bad part about fighting a two-man war, eventually there's more than one front. She seems to kind of get like a little sad as she like looks to the table like in contemplation.
Right. Not having any context for that. Well,
You'll have it
guess I
soon
can...
enough.
Oh, I meant out of game. Phoenix doesn't know what World War II is. It's something that Oliver mentioned in passing. It didn't really go into that level of detail with us. So, yeah, I can start on my spell preparations. I don't want to keep you, so.
Well, as long as I can... Well, I should be responsible, but... She just kind of sighs and sits down in the chair, like leans back against the wall a bit.
Being responsible does mean making sure that you're able to do the tasks assigned. And
Well, the thing is, it feels really fucking weird being able to tell anyone anything. Because most of our job is making sure the right people don't know the wrong things. And wrong people, wrong things. Right people, right things. Words are hard.
Yeah.
We know that better than anyone.
I think about this the stupider comment again. And I'm like, oh. Words are hard.
Yeah, but at least I'm a quadruped. So, you know, the uprights don't have to don't get to have that excuse. But I also have the ability to scare the shit out of them when I start talking.
By the way, is anyone looking at us?
Talking animals isn't, like, noticeably, like, out... I mean, there are definitely people that are, like... Because she is not subtle. She is not subtle at all. That are like, what the fuck? And then they're like, it's probably some wizard's familiar or something. This talking animals definitely is an unusual talent, though.
Druids awakening animals.
Yeah.
Just being like, now go and live your life. And they're like, all right.
What Lovecraftian horror have you inflicted upon me?
That's such a funny gimmick. A wizard just awakening every animal in his vicinity.
Leaving.
Yeah.
And
That
now
would
deal
cause-
with this.
This is your
Excuse me,
problem
we're not
now.
going to plow the field until you pay us.
Yeah, we've all been talking. We decided to form a union.
Yeah.
Forces
Wait,
Union, Lodge 1.
Actually, this is a great idea.
For you, Elon Musk hears that he'll have an aneurysm, which, that's a good thing too.
That's a win.
Yeah.
She'll mostly lapse into silence unless nobody asks any question or poses anything. Yeah.
Yep, I'll dip out to do my prep upstairs, I guess.
Um,
Alright.
Make your noises I must attend to, so.
Before you go, in case, things get lost, she basically says, "Tell Dorian I did the job he told me. Thanks.
Oh, yes, of course. And thank you.
Also, he's a fop."
If I was in better spirits, I would say I like you quite a lot, and we should go drinking sometime. Do you get? Don't answer that. Don't. No, I'm not even gonna ask.
Yeah, the answer's sad.
Probably for the best.
So, is there any lore information people are interested in that they're upset that they weren't able to learn earlier?
Believe me, I'm racking my brain and looking for notes.
Are the hobgoblin? I mean, I guess the question really is like, what the fuck is going on with like the boundaries of the tapestry shit?
How are you gonna phrase that question?
How do we help the boundaries of the tapestry not to be fucked?
At this point, stopping the people that are trying to knock a hole in it. Because yes, there are a lot of them. Which is why it's become a
Ooh.
pretty big problem. One that two people can't handle by themselves.
Who is doing it?
We don't know. We've managed to repel a lot of people from places that we defend. All of them seem to always have somebody above them who tells them nothing. No matter how many Dwerger or Drow or, let's be honest, even Greenskins or Beast Folk we manage to chase away, there's always more. I don't know why it's now. But, they sure seem to think that it's now or never.
That was my big question. I mean, I guess having a hint on where to go next would be nice too.
Wait here for a week.
Well, thankfully, no, I mean, you're already going there.
Yeah, I think the week is the travel that we're
Week is the
taking.
travel, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I had questions, but they were all logistical, so I was saving them. That was one of them. Like, are we supposed to be leaving now, or are we supposed to be like just waiting for her to come back and then we leave?
Oh,
But I
you're
guess-
gonna leave it whenever you need. There's a lot of different paths by which you can go, and this is the one I expected the most, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think we still need to maybe talk about whether or not we're taking the deal with the Luttendorffs.
That's your
Or
first
how
big
much we-
decision.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, no, I will not tell you the outcome of one or the other because the answer is it's not set. There's no way to know for certain the outcome of anything.
You can still be a guide.
There are pros and cons to both. I hate being that kind of... I mean, I can be a sassy bitch. That's like half my job. But, like... Unfortunately, it is. It's not really one is any better than the other. The question is, which things are you willing to put up with? Because on one hand, you're going to have a lot more supplies, but you're going to be told what to do. And you're going to move a lot slower. And it's probably going to be annoying to at least 2 of you. As for going alone, well, it's basically the opposite. And unfortunately, that just covers you. Because those decisions have big effects on other things and other people. And if you're asking me why don't I give you more details, because trying to fuck with the future is stupid and bad. Because it never works the way that you think it should. God knows we fucking tried.
Maybe this is just because I'm a fan of doing things quickly and discreetly. I don't think we should sign it.
I'm inclined to agree for a slightly different reason.
I feel like on paper it's a good thing. I struggle to find the reason why we shouldn't. But in my deepest of hearts, I feel as though we shouldn't. But I don't know why.
Or hands on the pot is not going to help.
She's kind of like, oh, I can tell you some about that. Because let's be honest, most of you don't trust anyone you meet. Why you trust me, I have no fucking idea. I could be talking out my ass. What, just because I say it in a nice, cheery little voice, that makes it okay?
What power would we have to stop you from doing what you want anyway?
Pretty much none.
There's your answer. We're not going to gain anything from fighting it, then why would we bother?
My answer, at least this is the one that Cal would give, is some fortune cookie bullshit around having to make friends by trusting people and blah, 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 stupid horseshit like that. Diplomacy.
This sounds stupid.
But he's always right, which is what pisses me off. Eventually.
Yeah. I want to ask what a fortune cookie is, but that sounds like a loaded question, so I'm just going to move past that.
Actually, I believe fortune cookies do exist in this setting.
Oh, they do exist?
Yeah,
Okay,
I believe
never
so.
So Daxius, it's these things,
Pretty
you get
simple
them
concept.
everywhere. How have you not seen one of these?
They're not
we didn't
everywhere,
have
they're
anywhere I'm from.
but they're definitely from down south. They're pretty relatively popular in Santala because they're used to pass information. They're not the, like, you know, Chinese American takeout dessert, nothing like that, but yeah.
Yeah, never heard of them.
People think they came from Sandala, but they actually came.
Yeah.
from the volcano.
She like brightens up like she's gonna say something and says, I'm not gonna bother, it doesn't matter anyways.
That's somehow even more concerning. Regardless.
No, it's more along the lines of, like, I can tell you where a lot of it came from, but it's just, like, disappointing because it's really mundane.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, that's usually how most things go.
yeah, people always want to have a magical explanation for everything, and when they find out it's just, like, some dude in a bakery made it, that's not nearly as fun as it came from across the seas.
Well, I do have a question, if you're actually able to answer it. We did end up going with the contract. Are we going to be fighting them for taking anything that we might need out of the temple? Or might not want in the hands of others?
She thinks about it and basically says, once you get to the town, it kind of goes raid. There's a lot of options that end up with a lot of different conflict, but we're talking several different fronts. So, you're going to be fighting to keep certain things out of a lot of different people's hands. For best, or
That's
for better or
actually-
worst.
It's actually useful information.
Well, people are as they are.
Even just having it spelled out loud. I mean, honestly,
And-
I just don't want to sign the contract because of just. I just don't want to. Again, I feel similarly to where Sven does. It doesn't sit right in my gut, and plus, they could always fuck us over. They could always try and take it from us, and I don't want them bossing us around. But it's all out war right now.
More than
We
you
might
know.
need every resource we can get.
I won't tell you exactly what is to come because I can't. That's influencing things. But I will say that as complex as you think it is, it's going to be worse. This might be the linchpin as to how things go in the future.
I retract my previous declaration. I think we should sign it.
If that's what the rest of us are leaning towards, I'm not going to fight it too much, but my
Oh no,
perspective
I
is
do
that
agree. Yeah.
The last time I was in a position where I had to take orders from someone in their position, didn't go very well.
Well, orders in this situation is mostly, what they're allowed to do and take. Less so like, get up, march, put your tent together, rah rah, stupid army shit.
I mean, we
What I
are
mean is,
Balur members.
I'm not going to... I've learned to trust my own judgment before I trust others who are not more directly involved in the situation.
Either or, I think it mostly leads to the same destination. Really, the outcome is... Well, I can't even say it's predetermined or anything like that because it isn't. A lot of things can go real tits up either way. This is one of those you have to decide.
Well, in any case, I've said my piece. What did the rest of you?
I can always make the joke of you guys always make great decisions and always do it in record time.
Yeah, fuck you.
You
I
always
think
is
they
there.
have a tendency to consider things a bit extensively.
I don't want to agree with him. Also, you're not grabbing my tail. If you do that, I will bite you. And if
I
you-
only wanted to feel your fur.
Conversation is just completely sidetracked.
That's
It's like a very serious conversation, and then we've got the Muppet arguing with the dog.
I roll handle God, I'm having a story. I roll handle animal to pet the dog.
Okay.
I don't know if this is an animal.
No, I'm not actually. It was a funny joke that was made wrong by me stuttering.
Give me the roll.
I roll handle aminal.
I'm
Amble,
a
blah,
mole.
Amble.
Did
No,
you
if you
see
think of
Sven?
anything- I'll
It'll
be here for
more
at
of a
least another
performance.
hour. That's always at least something. And also, maybe I'll let you touch my fur, but you're probably going to be disappointed. It's going to feel like every other animal's fur, but maybe a little coarser.
I mean, when you have fur, it's not much of an experience, really.
I have only felt the fur of 3 animals in my entire life.
Are you like a week old?
Why did
Something
you
like
sound
that.
like Donald Trump?
He sounds like Donald Trump with cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. No, he's what he
Maybe.
really sound. I
So-
wanted to make the answer of, do you want your stapler back too?
Yes. Please. I've been looking so long for... What are you talking
I'm
about?
I'm assuming everyone here has seen Office Space.
Yeah.
Assuming.
Barry, I swear to God, we watched it together.
Office Space?
Office Space, yeah.
The fuck?
Guys that do the crime with the office or the rounding off the pennies and
Yeah,
Like-
penny shaving scheme.
They have the big thing, or they smash in the copy machine.
Yeah,
Office space.
beating
I've
the
seen-
shit out of a
Oh?
printer.
Yeah,
Is this a
It-
show?
Never actually sat
No,
down
it's,
and
it's a
watched.
movie from 1999.
it's
1998.
the guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Ah.
One of those.
It's the guy who they won't fire, but they just keep trying to
Oh!
get him to quit. So
Yeah,
they'll
they put
like
him in the
move him
basement.
desks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
steal his
okay,
Milton.
okay. I know this. I know
Yeah.
this one.
Mhm.
All right, I remember.
And then I think he eventually ends up burning down the office.
He does
He
burn down the
does.
building, yeah.
Oh yeah, Milton.
Yep.
Mhm.
He steals like $250,000, like in the check that they were going to return, and then burns the building down and goes to Cabo.
No spoilers in my movie from 1999.
The movie's older than you are.
Also, like the
Yeah.
joy of that movie is not in like the plot; it's in the comedy because it's written by the guy who made King of the Hill.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah.
Anywho, take your time. This won't be the last time you see me, but it'll probably be the last time you see me before it matters.
Well, I guess I have two questions. I've been mulling on them. I can't think of any other ones. And I kind of doubt you can answer either of them or are willing to answer either of them. Do you know anything about this gem that you can tell us that we don't already know? Whether it's the smaller shard or the now big one we have?
Let's just say somebody's trying to resurrect very old elven magic, and holy shit, is it bad.
Helpful, like we didn't already know it was bad.
I'm saying is that somebody's trying to put souls into actual energy to use them as power for something.
What fucking soul did they get from the
Well,
house? I don't know.
on the other hand, is there anything good going for us? Or is it just one giant shit show we just have to keep marching through?
You have more friends than you realize. I mean that seriously.
It's funny. Most people don't seem to like us.
Well, and I can't exactly say that isn't of your own doing.
Not
But I will
used
say
to-
that you have the opportunity to do something pretty great, and you have more help along the way than you realize. Cyrus actually likes most of you, even if you guys can be dicks to him. And that's not me saying exactly what he thinks, that's my guess. And Melia actually cares for all of you, even if she can kind of be mean. Turs likes all of you. So does the Fly Boy and his boyfriend. I think you guys focus a lot on like the horrible shit you guys have done, and I'm not gonna lie that didn't happen. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like you guys didn't do fucking some horrible shit, because yeah. But don't let that cloud the fact that there are people in your life that actually give a shit about you. Why is it me
Some
saying
people, at
this?
least.
I wasn't expecting this kind of conversation from you.
I didn't know how this day was gonna be going either. This actually went like really off the rails.
He usually tends to do that. Like you said, black hole.
I think Cal used a term, then you guys were basically enigma, kinda. Tavaran. It's a word from someplace else that kind of means hero or protagonist or I don't know.
Hero. That's funny.
Your bowling ball dropped into the center of a sheet stretched out between four people. Anything that gets close to it gets drawn into it.
That makes more sense.
Do you guys have bowling
So-
here? You guys
Do
play in
we
the
have
yard,
bowling?
right? You're yard bowling?
Eh?
Describe it.
There's a bunch of thin pins and you toss a ball across the grass to try and knock them over.
Oh, pinball.
What?
Is that what
I don't
it's
think that's
called?
it.
It was. I mean, we didn't have an official name for it where I'm from. We just played it in the back streets where I grew up. Never mind.
I mean, that's how
There's
most
a
games
top.
go. Was there another question before we get too fucking far off the rails?
Right. Speaking of people to know, another one I don't think you can answer or don't want to. Musician with a switchblade, dwarf selling mechanical limbs? I mean, you can't just... I mean,
What's funny is, you at least know of them.
I think I know one of them. I have a guess on one of them.
Don't overthink it. As for the other one, well, she might have been trained by the right people. And, your beast folk friend has 2 of her products. Not all mixing and melding of times and worlds is a bad thing, but it can be a very bad thing. For some people, how it ends up affecting them might actually save their lives or bring them into something that's great for them. For others, it can be terrible. Life is as we make it. Sometimes bad shit can happen, even this, you know, and still have decent outcomes because of it. It's kind of like war. Yeah, it's fucking awful, and honestly, it probably shouldn't happen, and people die, but fight for the right things and get the right outcomes.
One only hopes.
Well, it sounds like we've about reached the end of our conversation. If I may ask, have we forgotten anything? I mean, there's been a lot going on.
Well, I can say
Honest.
that you should be nice to Amir when you show up. He thought it was really funny when you came to the house.
But the 12
You'll meet him. He's
books.
Is that the fucking servant?
I wouldn't use that word.
Is this
I had a fucking feeling about it.
fellow?
Say
We
it,
haven't-
I couldn't.
It's the 12 fellow that we sort of
I think
talked
it
to,
is.
but meant to follow up on later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, there's a lot of names.
yeah. Cal hasn't been back to the house in a long time, so when somebody knocked on the door, it had to be Amir. And then you got to play act what you expected him to be. Didn't know about that until after it happened. Kind of funny.
I try not to think about it.
All right.
It's been
So, I think we've got some less interesting business to take care of today. If we forgotten anything, I'm sure you'll let us know.
I can see futures and past. I can't read minds. Thank God.
It's not as fun as it seems.
Most people don't have a lot of thoughts going on.
God no.
Speaking of thought-based communication, my master says that he is not quite done with your spell just yet.
Well, I'll be here. And she just kind of like lays back into the booth seat. And if that's that, live a little, laugh a little, love a little.
Yep. If she sticks around for it, oh yeah, extended astral limb on you. Have fun with that shit. That's gonna be hilarious. The dog just steals stuff off of the table without
That is
even
kinda
getting up
funny.
on there, and people are like, "What the fuck?"
No, it's a lot better when you can turn the handlebars and make things go the place they're not supposed to be.
Yeah. It definitely is where I'm like, I sympathize. So, at least one day will be a little bit better.
I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
All right.
At least not that I think she would have an answer for.
Don't know
And
until you try.
Not that Sven wants the answer to.
Mm.
Part of him thinks to ask what will happen after the ritual, but a part of him doesn't want to know.
I was gonna say that's something your character doesn't want to know because you don't want to know. Then yeah,
Yeah.
then that's definitely something you probably shouldn't ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, she sits pretty proud of herself. She does let the homunculus touch her fur begrudgingly.
At least gentle. She's
Yeah.
alive, so he's more careful with her than he is with the furniture. Yeah,
Directly into the mouth.
If she's smart, she won't let him do that.
Oh no, yeah. She tries to do anything dumb. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I think she's sitting there kind of like considering, because yeah, I don't think that conversation went the way she expected it to either. Just randomly, like, as you guys are like sitting there, whoever is still left, like Phoenix is up doing his brewing, you just hear her say, "It's kind of fun not knowing for once."
Yeah. Yeah. Sven's quiet. She probably knows what he wants to ask.
And she won't answer.
Yeah. So
Maybe
he's
a-
kind of sitting there like, and probably the rest of the party also knows that, you know, Sven's probably thinking about asking this, but he doesn't.
Yeah. She can be a bitch, but it appears that she has like some level of manners to her.
Vic is probably going to go chat with Turs about the ritual at some point.
Okay. He says he can definitely help you with that, especially if it makes him get into a like actually running into and God damn it. Finally seeing the Mercader, the wizard of the Marianan Keep. He says he kind of figures he already knows what the little monster is and what to do with it, but figures that he'll give Aurelius the opportunity to take it if he wants it for his own research, or else he's gonna take it onto the sidewalk and crush it with his boot.
Sounds fair. So, a slightly out of question logistical question. Out of character logistical question. So if I remember correctly, basically all we need is to get 5 spellcasters in, and then, you know, basically just text Mercader, or
Yep.
let him know.
You'll need blood from the post.
I'm a text.
Yes, I think we were planning on, you know, extracting that at various points during the week, given
Yeah.
that it needs a bit of time.
You'll need to eat a lot. And probably not drink.
Well.
Yeah.
Guess
The hour
I'll,
passes. I guess if there's nothing else really going on. Yeah, you definitely have the casters. Mercader will be able to kind of lead you in that. He does give you. He did say that like he handles like the ceremony and like that at work. He doesn't handle what comes after. You remember him kind of giving you that like serious like line of, you need to figure that out for yourself.
By what comes after, I assume you mean with Sven specifically, not with dealing with the
Yeah.
creature.
That's what he meant. He also gave you the warning that with creatures is kind of powerful, that sometimes things don't always go the way we want, and when they're powerful and they're vindictive, they might lash out.
Okay.
He did say that it wasn't without risk. But yeah. And that's about it. Anybody
Good.
else? Alright. The hour passes and you're able to deliver the sugar glass potion bottle to Nyala, who takes it and puts it into the kind of pouch that she's had around her her neck. Almost, it does look like she's wearing a collar in a way, but she seems to be able to access it relatively easily. She does ask somebody to roll up the page and stick it in as well, and you notice the page goes all the way in despite the bottom being significantly shallower.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Yeah, I just give her the requisite info, which I'll also let you guys know too, just in case you want to use stuff like this for nefarious purposes. So the sugar glass, it's not water soluble until you damage it a little bit, and then it is totally water soluble because it's not crystallized on the interior. So there's a thing that's like, oh, it's just normal glass, and then you can just like score it, drop it in something, stir it around, and it's gone. So don't even have the potion vial on you. Someone will be like, oh, he poisoned the prince. What with what? What poison?
yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess that does
serious
dictate our next steps.
Yeah.
we poison the people who are trying to hire us.
Yes. Not a bad idea.
As she prepares to leave, she does leave you with like kind of one last bit, saying, like, sitting down and like kind of looking between everybody, and says, some of you are gonna change a lot, and some of you are gonna have to get real cool with a lot of things real fast. And I don't mean like not being told things or being told fortune cookie nonsense or half-truths. I mean things. Spend time with Dorian. He can kind of prepare you for it. Even then. Other than that, try to smile a bit. I can be a miserable asshole. That's sort of my whole shtick, really. Man, compared to you, I'm a fucking clown.
I've been told I'm rather dry.
I think I lost that ability a few decades ago.
I still smell plenty, just not so much lately.
Not so much when I'm around my friends.
She
Just
looked
turn-
at
That's
you,
not what I
Sven.
meant, Phoenix. No, I take it back.
She looks to you, Sven, and flatly says, "It'll get better."
I
A
sure
lot
hope
of-
it does.
And with that, I suppose I'm off.
Safe journeys.
Oh, I'm hoping so. She just like turns around and like the portal opens and she trots through, and like it just slowly closes, and that's that, and she's gone.
Wait, I just remembered. Oh, dang.
Yeah, you can tell her in a week.
Ah, it was a joke.
Oh. Well, you got me.
Ah. I suppose we have business to do now, don't we?
Mm-hmm. I'm all ready, so.
Yes. We need to do a bit of bookkeeping.
Yes, I figure maybe, well, if there's different things we need to take care of, treasure will still be there, you know.
you guys need to do actual bookkeeping, like distributing gold and shit, I'll leave the server open. If you want to do that between sessions, it's probably not something very interesting that people would want to see on the stream.
I haven't gone through the loot yet, but I was going to sometime next week.
So, if you guys think that's about it for this, alright.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're just going to go off and do Sven's thing next, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sen will say, if you'll permit it, perhaps we have one night where we just relax and then do all of my stuff tomorrow.
I mean,
I think tomorrow
you're going to be donating blood for the next few hours anyway, so we have time to relax.
Yippee.
Right.
right before we leave.
And I mean, I guess so.
I can get you your blood back. So.
Alright.
Yeah, I guess you could just cast Cure Wounds or something.
I think, what is it? Restoration, you just cancel all ability score damage. So, have one con, bang, you're back to max.
Yeah.
Very good for blood farming, I guess.
All you need is someone who can cast, what, level 4 spells?
Yep.
Super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
I mean, that's at least one of us.
And they're also okay with that being what they're doing with their life, is just refilling blood.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
That's what you signed up for, Fernix.
That's like
Yeah.
going to college for like 8 years and then you end up in a fast food restaurant.
Just changing the blood pack on people in the hospital, and that's literally all that you do.
It's more like going to school for
Wrong.
12 years to become a doctor and somehow ending up being assigned to like a college campus where you're mostly just like giving out like STD shots and taking like blood samples.
You know,
And being
you're,
in, like- Spend my life on this.
the entirety of your salary is spent refilling the condom bowl and nothing else.
Chris.
I'm a fucking doctor, a medical doctor.
Anyway,
So,
one last thing before we close out. Do we want to go ahead and do the haggling roll to get that sale percentage?
sure. Sven? One last
Sure.
time.
One last diplomacy question mark?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, I could
diplomacy.
roll it, but I don't think you'd want me to. I was going to say we could wait for a second and maybe do some buffs, but apparently we're not waiting.
I mean, we can still do the buffs.
You can.
No.
You'll get like a 20, which is something.
Yeah. Let's,
Oh,
I was still pulling up the sheet, so 20 would not change anything.
No.
I could
Sven is really depressed.
give myself enhanced diplomacy.
Oh, that's right.
The cantrip. All right, I'm up to 20, boys.
Okay.
Yeah,
again,
Sven's
that does
heart
nothing.
isn't really in it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Like, it is very obvious, like, he is not okay. Like, just, not obviously injured or anything like that, but just, like, oh, yeah. Almost looks like he's, someone died and he's hasn't gone to their funeral yet.
No, but he's smiling.
Damn.
You know, he's giving the.
Mm-hmm. Customer service smile.
Well, it's
I'm scared.
better than nothing, I guess. That raises the value to 60% based on our rolls, which
Okay.
is
That's
reflected
something.
in these sheets.
Alright. Then I think with that, we are going to sign off for tonight. I know I'm honestly pretty glad that this was a slower session, and I honestly did not think that interaction with Nyala was going to go that long. But then again, I think
You need to stop
guys
saying
needed
that.
it. I think you guys fucking needed it.
It was just.
Yes.
Alright, so
Yeah.
thanks to everybody
Bye.
who's watched us at home, and catch us all next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Peace.